Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, send me, text me the link so I can send it out.
What you gonna think?
Put it in the watch.
Oh. Somebody's going off the comments already. Oh my God. Hold on. Going on there, this is Chicago with Season Service Survival.
Because you have to understand that self-defense is a serious business. We do military forces, defense forces. Make the difference.
One of the tactics that would increase or decrease
In the two-way community.
All right, y'all introduce this. Johnny
You already know what it is. We do the
I saw that, and I've done my share. I'm about to put yours up here too. Look at this one. My comment is,
I want.
hey, you'll be back. Hey.
But no, so Marquise Moreno, PC.
What up?
What's going on?
Eat my red beans and rice and shit. Not a word.
Wow.
You said I'm ready to move west. What's going on, you all? Trigger with Instructor Mike and friends. Mike, John, Katie, Marquisa be in the building. Trying to wait for him to get on live so we can go on ahead. Do me a favor. You all hit the like button, share, all that stuff. Mr. Officer, you are pushing conservative propaganda. Okay. Hey, Jacob, you want to come up? I'll send you the link. I know Jacob has been busy. Ice, introduce yourself. Y'all know the platform has grown, right?
I honestly haven't really paid attention.
That's fair. That's fair.
I actually seen someone made a comment though. 500,000 followers now.
Yeah, we're there. Yeah, 557. So yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah, that's it. So by God, Jacob, you're always world. It's all good. I love it. Hey, what's going on? All right, y'all want to say your spiel? Guard, or you want me to go on? All right, coming to the stage. It's John from. No, I was playing. Go ahead.
John with Guard Concepts. We're in Bourbon, Illinois. We're about 60 miles south of Chicago. We do the concealed carry class. We do advanced firearms training. We do TECC certification, medical training, BADIVs. We do have kind of a whole plethora of things. If you get a chance, follow us on Facebook, Guardian Concepts, and you can stay up to date with what we're doing.
Outstanding. K Dizzle.
Yeah, this is KD from Kingdom Devoted Transcripts and Kingdom Devoted Training. I'm located in the south suburbs. I don't have nothing fancy, but that.
Oh my God. All right. So you said as someone from St. Okay, so here we go. While we wait on Marquise to come in, because I do want him to, I mean, we will still get started. But what are your thoughts about the law what are some of the things that you have heard that this law is gonna do? And to answer your question, the page is not monetized because we talk about guns and stuff like that, and they don't monetize pages like that. But thank you all, those of you who have actually donated to this through the Cash App and now through PayPal. Y'all see that little QR code right there? If you take your phone and scan that, and you got a PayPal account or however you want to do it with a card, every $5 donation that you give for this content, I'm giving away books. Last time you all sponsored 47 books that I was able to give away. So thank you for that. I greatly appreciate it. I definitely put the pictures out there so you can see that's where the stuff is going. So periodically we'll mention it and put that QR code. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave the QR code up there and just hope that y'all, do what you choose to do. I appreciate those of you all who did it last time. And the Cash App tag is right across the bottom of the screen. What I tell myself first, right? Support the channel and get a book for every child, or for a child. $5 donation gets a child a book, okay? And if you want to check out what books I'm giving, MikeBrownsBooks.com, MikeBrownsBooks.com. All right, so I am not going to sit here and waste your time. I was on another person's channel. Not going to say what that channel was, but Jesus, they talked about chitlins and everything else before they got to the content, and it taught me a lesson. It taught me a lesson. So I'm not going to waste your time. Let's go on ahead and dive right into it. Is that PayPal donation categorized as firearms merchant? No, it's actually not. It's actually not, because my business, it's enterprises, and the firearms portion is a DBA. So I do a lot of different things. I'm also a licensed fingerprint vendor. So it's a lot. Okay. So that's that. If you choose to donate, I appreciate it. It's all good. And it's education too. So let's go on ahead and dive right into the content. John, what are y'all thoughts about what you heard so far before we dive right into it? Want to get this set up?
My thoughts.
It's gonna be interesting.
Fucking.
Well, whatever you were trying to say, it it was like
I thought that was my phone.
Yeah, we're all in Illinois. Yeah, so
yes,
and you do have people commenting on other pages. They're not even on ground zero.
Yes, so we're literally state criminals across the board. So basically, with the new bill that's going into effect January 1st, charges like second-degree murder, robbery, burglary, aggravated DUI, intimidation, things like that are no longer detainable offenses unless the prosecutor can deem them a threat to the public. But here's the thing with that, you know what I mean? Our system is already so jacked as it is, and it's already geared towards the criminals, that we're literally just handing them the state. I mean, cartels. Okay, Chicago is a hub for the Midwest. It is a hub for the Midwest. So even if you are, okay, let's say arrested for trafficking, get a citation, all right, and a court appearance piece of paper, and you're let go. What is incorrect?
Keep going, John. I know he's gonna say what it is, but go ahead.
You're given a piece of paper to appear in court. So getting my train of thought. So after that first piece of paper, now let's say you don't show up in court. Once you don't show up in court, a warrant cannot be arrested at that time. It cannot be issued until they send you another piece of paper saying, hey, you need to come to court. And then after the second time, then essentially, if you don't show up, then they can issue a warrant for your arrest. But here's the thing for cartels. Okay, one of your people just got busted for trafficking. What are you going to do? Send their ass back to Mexico and send someone else.
Don't they do that already?
You'd be surprised how many people are still hanging around, though. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Traffic up here. You know what I mean? Traffic people up here. All that type of stuff. And then we'll go one step further, because obviously everyone's publicized the criminal aspect with the criminal charges. It's the background stuff where, as a police officer, part of that act, previous to this act, if someone filed a complaint against a police officer with the attorney or the state's attorney, the Illinois State Police, anything along those lines, their identity was disclosed to the police officer, so that way he could form and get his evidence together to fight that claim of disorderly conduct or whatever the case may be. Well, now with the new act, it's all done anonymously. So anyone can go obviously make an anonymous claim saying, he touched my ass. Well, yeah, he put you under arrest. So in the process, you know what I mean, his hand grazed your ass. But after 3 anonymous complaints, you as a police officer can now lose.
That's correct.
Your state licensure.
Yep.
You, as a police officer, once you get 3 anonymous complaints, you can now lose your state licensure, which essentially means you lose your job. So as a police officer, am I going to want to stick my nose into some shit? Because I have no idea who the hell is going to file a complaint against me.
Hey, Cashmere. Yep.
What Karen, what Ken, what Joe Schmo, what fucking asshat, you know what I mean?
Tatum Tactical, what's going on?
Legit, we have handed the state to the criminals. It's absolutely disgusting. I despise the leadership that we have in this state. And people can sit there and say, you voted him in, you voted him, this, that, and the other. Guess what? I didn't vote for shit that's been put into place in this fucking state. It is utterly disgusting, the fact that, you know what I mean?
Hey, Byron.
What they are continuously allowing. That's about as politically correct as I can keep it.
Yeah.
Katie, I'll leave it to you.
Before you start, Katie, and here we go. Can all of you all please tag someone in this, share this conversation? This is going to be very educational. It's definitely going to be opinions. I will be dropping the link for you all to come up and converse, but this is definitely going to be the PowerPoint presentation you all kind of saw Monday with a little bit of addendums to it, right? Here we go. Go ahead, Katie. Look at you, chilling in the shit.
Man, I had a long day.
I know.
I just had a student that almost failed himself, so to speak.
Yep.
Like John said, what I've heard was I got a bunch of text messages saying that it was the purge. Man, it's the purge coming. I need to get my concealed and carry license now. Like, what are you doing right now? I don't care how much it is. I need it right now. But it's something that we've been preaching for the last year or so to get your concealed and carry license. It's like everybody waited to the last minute. Now they have pushed this hidden agenda to now all of a sudden it's imperative that we get our license. Okay. What despises me the most is the fact that they're shipping in busloads of people from them southern states up here to these northern suburbs. That with this new laws that they have, I try to do a little research on it. I kind of understand some of it, but not all of it.
That's why we gonna go over it.
Some of it makes good sense in some of the terminologies and things that's going over, but some of it doesn't make sense. Like John said, as an officer, I might just say, Aren't you glad we're no longer on the streets? But as an officer, it's like one of those things. Like y'all already begging for officers. Y'all like literally are begging. Y'all lower the standards for officers. Y'all went from a from college degree to
Man.
associates to do you have a post? Like y'all begging for officers. So with y'all begging for officers already, now you're getting these officers out there, or if they do come, they're not going to be able to do anything. Like literally, we might as well just give them a Barney Fifer whistle and tell them go direct traffic, because that's what it's getting down to. You're taking policing away from the police, and that's where the problem is going to lie. Not to mention that the state's attorney right now that we have currently ain't worth a shit. Like, let's just be real. Oh, damn.
No,
Let
you
me go
good.
this
Go
way.
ahead.
Let me go this way. But, let's just be real. Like, what we have now in place is not pushing anything to try to clean up anything. So I see it getting rough. But like I told everybody else, continue to live your life the way you've been living it. Be mindful of where you've been going.
Hey, Kenny.
Don't try to do anything extra, and it should work out for you. Because those that are criminals before this law, they don't give a shit about this law, so they're going to continue to be criminals.
Right.
If you have to do whatever it is you have to do, then you do it. But don't go out looking for the purge. But
Right.
if the purge should happen to come into your doorstep, be prepared for the purge.
Absolutely. All right. So my opinions are going to be what we're going to sum up in this presentation. All right. So let's go on ahead and knock it out. Okay. So, yes, I did do research. And by the way, this QR code in the corner right there, that's for those of you all who want to send $5 donation via PayPal or whatever the case may be. So that way, every $5 donation goes to a child getting a book. Okay. So that's what I do. Okay. Last time you all donated, and I got 47 books giving them away. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into it. You said, name another profession where anonymous complaints can get you fired. Whew. We got more. We got more on that. Here we go. So, Safety, Accountability, Fairness, and Equity Act. That's what the safety and transparency or tranquility, something. I forgot what the T meant, but that's what that means. Okay. Here we go. So, here are some of the policing highlights. It offers new standards for when police use force. Okay. In other words, it's eliminating, like we already knew, the chokehold when a person who is fleeing from the police or fleeing from law enforcement, when deadly force can be used towards them. It has that in the bill. Okay. And just to show you the bill, I think I still do have that up here. Yeah, I do. So if you want to see the bill, I'll go on ahead and transition to that next screen and you can see about that. Okay. It requires officers to provide aid after using force. Okay. I have no issues with that one. I'm sure nobody on the panel really has any issues with that, except if you're not trained in that. Okay. It requires officers to intervene if other officers use unauthorized or excessive force. Now, here's where you may see some issues. Okay. Here's where you may see some issues because for the same reason that the community doesn't come out and assist the community when crimes are being committed in certain cases. Now, some community members do. Most community members do not. Okay. And so what do they say? Well, we got to live here, right? We have to live here. We have to survive here. I'm not going to snitch. Snitches get stitches, all other kinds of things. That same kind of mentality exists in the police department and in law enforcement. Trust me. Kenny Ray, you said, remember that basic first aid and CPR taught in the academy. I do remember that. I do remember that. I don't know if it was good. I know it was something. But from what I hear, it's a little bit different. Now, Kenny Ray, I know you've got awesome paramedic skills. I wish they would teach that. That requires a whole nother course. Man, that requires a whole nother course. But thank you for your service and what you do. You're different, right? It's a great thing. Here we go. It prohibits police access to any military surplus program or purchasing specific types of equipment and requires the publishing of any purchase request or receipt of equipment through any military purchasing program. Now, I can tell you this. This is going to, hey, thank you, Heller Foundation. Love you as well. Here we go. This is going to hurt local small police departments. Welcome to the stage, Marquise on deck. What's up, man?
What does it do?
It does what it should have did, what it always did, what it's about to do. Purge on deck. Oh my God. All right, here we go.
You get the purge on, baby.
Right. So it's going to hurt some small town departments. Why is it going to hurt some small town departments? Because funding is low. And having been in a small town department, in fact, quite a few of them, the type of equipment that law enforcement gets from these actually helps them in hostage rescue situations where they may not have, they may not be a member agency of South Suburban Emergency Response Team. You're right, Justin. I get it. He said that equipment is defective, not offensive. I get it. But in some cases, it's better than none because, Justin, it's a little bit different from the department. You get what I'm saying. It's different when you come from a different department where you all have got funds and a high tax base and stuff like that. So, yes, everyone, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go on ahead and continue with this. Here we go. Expands uses of and changes guidelines, requirements for BWCs or body-worn cameras, and who may access, review, or delete footage. Do you know that to this day, I listen to Bond Court all the time? Right, absolutely, yes. I listen to Bond Court all the time, and I know there are some agencies that still don't have body cameras, but they're not required to have body cameras just yet. It's depending upon the largest agencies, and then it's getting to the smaller agencies because of funding issues. Hey, don't make fun of his apple juice, because, boy, I got some right here. Apple juice on deck. I see you.
Oh, no, that's not apple juice.
Oh, well, mine is apple juice. That's
that grown folk apple juice.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I got it. I'm trying to get to it right now. Here we go. This is an important one. It expands officer training on topics including crisis intervention, de-escalation, use of force, high-risk traffic stops, implicit bias, racial and ethnic sensitivity training, and emergency response. But do you know what it does not focus on? Let's talk facts. I'm a fact guy. I shouldn't be, but I'm going to be bold and I'm going to be honest right here. And I'm going to say physical fitness is not my discipline. Even though I did it, I fucking hated it, but I did it because I had to do it. And I know there's a lot of fat cops that are out there that are in the same boat, and you are active on duty. Why aren't there any legislation that mandates, or why isn't
discrimination?
Hey, look.
Discrimination. That's why they won't do it.
I get it.
Do you realize that the purge would be also the purging of the police force?
Oh, yeah.
Because if you got someone that got that Dunlap syndrome, and we've had this conversation multiple times. No, we've had this conversation multiple times where I've literally talked about what we like to call, I called it live action role playing, because you're dressed like you're going to do some shit, but your belly doesn't allow you to get to that cross draw that you want to pretend is going to be your taser, or your cross draw to get to a magazine where you're talking about, well, this is my AR mag. Bruh, not around that stomach, it ain't.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's got to be an important conversation. So,
hey, Mike,
go ahead.
Do you remember? My best friend, he got killed. I want to say at least about 15 years ago. That they had with CPD that if you passed your physical fitness, then you got like extra vouchers and paid time off. I know it was like a big thing back then. So a lot of cops will go and do the run all over, the sit reaches and all that. Do you remember that?
I'm sure it must have been a thing. I can't recall, but I do know one agency that definitely has a physical fitness standard. The Illinois State Police. Yes. When I did my internship with them, they have a physical fitness standard. Yes, they do. And they don't play about it. They really don't. So
it was like that back in now.
Hey, I'm just curious. Is like, why does the state police have a standard and Chicago police or the other law enforcement agencies don't have a physical fitness standard. Here's another thing that I don't hear them saying anything on. These topics are good. Crisis intervention, I love it. Where's the anger management?
Because it's not a training topic. Anger management is not a training.
It actually is.
Bet money.
I'll bet money, because as a specialist, I'm telling you, there are persons who I know who are cops who are certified as anger management specialists, and they will agree.
They're certified as anger management specialists. Now imagine this. Anger management specialists are only used when a person has an anger problem and they're sent to that person.
That's every day. That's every day. And actually, I use that every day.
Bro, that's you. We're talking about police force. If you said anger management training means even people with no anger issues would have to go to anger management training.
Yes.
That doesn't exist.
It should.
It's called that's called being
now.
proactive.
If you say preventative anger management, maybe, but I can't force someone without an anger problem to go to anger management.
But it should. And I get what you're saying, Marquise. But what I'm saying is this: I'm speaking for me being a former cop. I can't speak for anyone else. But me being a former cop, I'm not gonna lie. There have been times that people on the street have triggered me, and I am a much better person because I went and got that training.
Man, you're angry every day.
I'm a much better. Hold on now. I'm a much better person because I went and got Crisis Prevention Institute training. That was one of the first things that I said. Why don't they teach this stuff in the academy? And often we wait until we say the person has the problem to then say they got to get the training. But then we don't say, let's educate them, because there are people with problems that lie dormant that they don't even think about or even think they have until there's a trigger and they get in trouble, and then they get pushed to get that training, and then they realize they had a problem. That if this training would have been in existence, and it's not hard. This anger management certification I went through, this was not hard and extremely revealing. It's like the more trauma you've been through personally, I feel the more positive coping mechanisms and skills you need to manage your expectations from a realistic perspective, so you don't get mad when that person say, fuck the police.
What was the name of the training you took, though?
I'm a National Anger Management Association certified anger management specialist.
Specialist.
Yes.
You took a specialist training. What is it called when a person just wants to learn and not be a specialist for anger management?
Anger management. You have a specialist come in and you teach the class. And then you don't just teach it one time. You mandate it over and over. They literally have online training. They have Zoom training. We have all of the kinds of training. And what I'm saying is this. Here we go. Sharp Blades. I gotta give you your credit when it's due. Cops are triggered from their abusive childhood. I know a few cops and they have trauma. This is true.
And their current relationships.
Hey, I'm just saying. But
hey, you know what though?
Go ahead.
Hey, Marquis, do you realize that cops get an extra stipend because they're not married when they retire?
Because they're what?
Not married.
Shit, it sounds like you rewarding them for never getting married.
You get that
no, hey, Mike, I'm not gonna say where from, but when you retire, you get an extra stipend on your retirement because the duties of the job has pretty much prohibited you from finding love and or going off being married. So that right there is going off into the concept of a lot of cops are angry every day. I think what he's saying, what Mike is saying is preventive maintenance. You don't wait to change your oil when your engine locked up. You change your oil constantly during the course of you driving your vehicle so that you can prevent that from happening. A lot of these people need to be trained or need to be able to identify triggering points, conversations, positions, actions, and things well before it actually happened. Because when it happens, that's when you get 32 shots.
You don't really change your oil on a constant basis. You change your oil when it's time. No more than going to a training when it's time. So
Every
once again,
3,000
I can't go
miles.
with the oil change scenario. I'll say you may have to gas up that car a little bit more often, but I don't know about the oil change, bro.
Well,
But like I said, I don't think you can force an like I don't. If you can say, I would just say maybe change the words of anger management. Just change the wording. What else can we use that can be used as a regular basis that's not associated with anger management? Because anger management on your record can actually be a bad thing. Like this person had to go to anger management.
Nowhere in the courts is that ever a thing. In fact, anger management is always seen as a good thing because that's what judges order defendants to, and they order them to go.
Say it again.
They order defendants to take that, and it helps them in their case. So nowhere is that a realistic standard that anger management is going to be seen as a bad thing.
Why are they ordered to take it?
Especially if we make them do it constantly.
Why is the defendant ordered to take anger management?
Because they need to be made aware of it.
They're angry.
Because they're angry. That's my point. Anger management is not something that people can take and is not against their record. And I'm telling you, it's not. If there's a different term we can use, I'm with you 100%, Mike. But anger management is not a term anybody wants on their record because right now the stigma of anger management is court ordered or based on some behavior that puts you there in the first place. If you have another term, I'm with you 100%. Anger management is negative.
As a person who's helped people actually through this, as a person who's testified in court, anger management is not seen as negative. And I think I value you guys' opinions, but when we find ways to skirt preventative ways of getting extra things so that we could benefit from our trip, we are not being honest about this shit. We're not being honest about the fact that there are real traumas that we have within us that motivate us to public service. We're not being honest about that. And we want to sit here and change the fucking term with tomato and tomato. This is what the Black Lives Matter movement is talking about. And I fucking can't stand that movement. But that's the shit that they're talking about. We got to be honest and have this real conversation that there are some things that we actually can do. This is the problem. We're talking tit for tat. Anger management is necessary. I've worked with and supervised some cops. I've been that one person that had to apologize to somebody because I've lost my cool. And we don't fucking be honest about that shit.
Hey, Marquis, let me ask a question. So you said anger management, the wording sounds bad, right?
No, it has a negative connotation.
It has a negative undertone, right? So what about racial and ethnic sensitivity? If I'm that could be looked at as a negative thing. Like you got to take that because you're racist.
No, because if your ass grew up in Mayberry, you might not have been around black folk.
Okay, but Katie has a point though.
But what I'm saying is racial and ethnic sensitivity training. That means that if I am open to all races, then I shouldn't have to take that training. If I was a black man, listen, if I was a black man married to a white woman and I had kids by an Asian chick and a Hispanic chick, then I shouldn't have to take that training because I'm already sensitive. And I'm
not the same. In my opinion, it's not the same because it's the same thing as taking government ethics training. You take ethics training, that's a requirement.
It doesn't mean you got no ethics.
It's a requirement, but it's called ethics training.
Same difference. It makes it seem as though you got no ethics.
Same difference, which is not a real term.
Anger management training.
Nah, I'm sorry. I just don't agree with that term. I just don't. You can move on from that. I just don't agree with it.
So what would you call it, Marquise?
Teaching someone how to deal with anger?
That's too many titles. Okay.
No.
I know what you mean.
About teaching someone how to deal with anger, correct?
Sure. Right.
Let me marinate on that.
We coming back to you.
Hell yeah, let me marinate on that.
Hold on. Okay, JDO says anger management awareness.
Even better.
Even better. Okay. I'll go you one.
Okay.
That's cool.
I'll take that. I'll take awareness over that because, again, someone being aware of why they're angry, I like it.
Okay. See, there we go. But we don't take out anger management.
I didn't say take it out. I said change it. Change the wording. Anger management awareness. Hey, I can deal with that.
Yeah. Those of you all who say you want to hear about the purge law, we've been talking about it. Whose fault is it you came late to class? So I'm going to treat you like I would treat any other student. Set your ass down and listen. Let's go. You forgot who the fucking room you should read the comments. Shit. Love you too. Welcome to the class.
But wait, we're still talking about just the policing side of it, right?
Bring your ass to class on time.
We're just, but we've only been talking about the policing side, right?
That's it. We ain't even got to the worst part.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure because I know I came late, but again,
listen.
Hey, hold on, listen.
Adjuncts.
One of the, you're a teacher, so you got an excuse.
But
yeah,
listen here.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amen.
So it's all good. Y'all know if I'm talking loud like that, y'all know I love y'all. Don't get mad in the comments and shit. All right, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Okay, hit that like button, please, for Al Gore's rhythm. Y'all know, shouts out to Arm Scholar. I got that shit from him.
That's what I think it is, John.
Does he got rhythm, though?
What is, what is that?
That's
that's moonshine, baby.
Oh,
hey, John, send me your address.
Right, that's moonshine. When he shook the bottle,
what we talking about?
That's what I'm like. Mojo. That's what I think it is.
That's juju right there, baby.
Oh, Byron's got a good one. Emotional stability training. It sounds like you got.
Ooh. Emotions make you cry sometimes.
Hey, but you know what though? That's gonna make a lot of people tender. They were like, that gonna make a lot of people real tender, boy.
What about emotional sensitivity?
Chief gonna come in, everybody gonna be hugging.
What about emotional sensitivity then? Because if that's the case, understand why you have these emotions. Be sensitive to your emotions. That way, maybe you're more sensitive to your emotions. You won't blow up on somebody.
And this is not to make police officers soft. Right. What this is to make you aware of not only your behaviors and triggers, but other people's too.
And that's the problem. It's no more than a physical checkup. We want to make you aware of what might be wrong with you, what you should prevent from happening. Again,
like the read technique.
Like who?
The read technique.
I don't know how to read. What?
Never mind.
Due to the graphic nature of this program.
Hey, I always go to the restaurant and say I have what he's having. I don't,
Gotcha.
That's it. All right, let's get back on it. Here we go. That was a good little dialogue. I love it. Here we go. And as you all can see, when we have discourse, what do? We keep that shit respectful.
And professional.
I love it. Here we go. Go to your room. All right, here we go. Mandates use of force reporting to the FBI National Use of Force database. No issue there. Requires reporting of deaths in police custody and due to use of force. Got it.
Wait a minute, that's not required already?
I'm just saying. Maybe they said it wasn't. Hey, I don't know. I know every time there's a homicide, give me an RDN event for 0110. That's the UCR for first degree or whatever.
Right, you got to fill out a form and everything.
I'm telling you. Here we go. Okay, so the term is anger management awareness. Everybody says that sounds best. So, hey, suggest that to your police departments. I'm serious. Suggest that to them because it'll make better officers. It'll make you a better person. And yes, for those of y'all who did ask, I am creating an online Zoom anger management program.
Anger management awareness program.
Oh, thank you, Marquise. Anger management awareness program. Guess how much it costs? $5.
I was gonna say free 99, but let's go for
$5. I got to get these kids more books. All right, here we go.
Cents a day.
Hey, look, shouts out to those who donated last time. Here we go. Misconduct highlights. If you want to know where the purge, who said whack? What does that mean? Charblaze, what you mean whack? You talking about getting kids more books? Boy, you know I'm about to go in. I hope they ain't.
No, you're not. Go ahead. Misconduct.
Misconduct highlights. If you want to know where the purge issues are going to come in, this is the part that the media is not discussing. People talk about catch and release. let's talk about the catchers. And I hate using that term because you're going to get some Uber Shea Butter Brigade individual get mad and they're going to talk about, oh, you mean like the slave catchers? Oh, my God. That's not what I mean by that.
So, you know, we got a coin at SBB, right?
What does that mean?
Shea Butter Brigade. We got SBB it. Let's do it, baby.
SB squared. SB squared. Here we go. It allows for investigation of anonymous complaints against officers, bans the destruction of police misconduct records, allows complaint filings against police officers without sworn affidavits or other legal documentation, and removes the requirements that officers under investigation must be informed of complainants' names or the officer in charge of the investigation. Let me provide a few things. First of all, the Uniformed Peace Officers Disciplinary Act is Chapter 50, Illinois Compiled Statutes, Act 725. Specifically, I believe Section 3 or Section 4, I think it's 3.8, where it requires that at present that persons who seek to make complaints against officers must obviously reveal their identity and swear on oath or affirmation the following information is true. It also, prior to this act, has it in the statute currently today that if it is found that you have lied in whole or in part, and we're not talking about innocent omissions, we're talking about actual willful or wanton omissions, that you are to be forwarded to the state's attorney in that county for prosecution. That is right now. Come January 1st, 2023, that is no more. So you're going to go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Now, only thing I agree with is the one that bans the destruction of police misconduct records.
Okay.
I truly agree,
I can agree with that one too.
You got a lot of officers that department hop.
Wait.
You know what I'm talking? Huh?
No, keep going. I got something to go with that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They department hop and they go from one place to the next place to the next place, trying to get in front of and run away from their old misconduct records and hope that they don't catch up to them. And that's why I truly agree with that one.
So let me counterpoint you. In the criminal justice system, there is expungement and sealing. Okay?
True.
A person can be arrested and charged for an offense and later have the case dismissed because of a technicality, or have the case nollied because the state doesn't have enough evidence to continue in the case, or be found not guilty at trial by the triers of fact, or having been convicted and then after having done their time and some time has passed, have that record expunged. Why is it that the same process can't extend to police officers who have committed certain offenses that are not egregious constitutional violations, but maybe small skirmishes of department policy? They have done their punishment for whatever that is, corrective action, and have the opportunity to have a percentage of that clean slated.
I agree with that because you use the word certain and a percentage of it. I would agree with that because, as you know, that when you go to a new department, they're going to send out the detective to go back to your old department and find out everything about you and dig up everything to find out. So certain things, very certain things should be able to go ahead on and get erased. I agree with that. But other things, you know what other things should be on there and should follow you, especially if you are a habitual criminal. If you just continue, it shouldn't be, well, I'm going to leave from this department over east and go way west, and they're not going to know about it.
I agree. And that is a healthy medium. John and Marquise, I know Marquise had the blackout. John, what's your thoughts? No. You John can't do that shit. Hey. Red beans and rice. All right? Red beans. So if you see me
look like he had caught with his head in the cookie jar.
if you see me dip, you know what that means. And I come up. All right, go ahead. Hold on. Hoppercopter said not sustain isn't enough. No. Here's the reason why. What is the reason that we have an expungement process? So that we give a person who was, they had paid their debt to society or had done a particular thing, or the case was nollied or dismissed. We give them the opportunity to fix their record so it doesn't affect their future. What's the purpose of us having credit repair? The legitimate kind. So you know what I'm saying, right? So why is it, and these are all the reasons why you should not be the police, because they hate you so much to the point they're not even willing to give you a chance. Police officers, the good ones at least, are the problem seekers.
Yeah,
the problem seekers. Go ahead.
Thinking about that, yeah, you on the right path, because I'm pretty sure. Well, I know I had a misconduct report against me because my choice of words were not sensitive enough. Sometimes you got to get a little dirty. Sometimes people don't listen to regular vocabulary words, and it take a little bit extra to get them to comply or to do what it is that they need to do. So yeah, stuff like that I can truly agree with. Like, hey, if you're a fucktard, you're a fucktard. But you know what I'm saying? That shouldn't follow me everywhere I go. But I agree with that. It's like you said, certain things, certain aspects of your record, depending on what they are, once you've been through the, what is it called, the adjudication process, and you see that it's like one of those minor things, after you've done your training or done your whatever you got to do, it should be erased.
Yes.
But other stuff needs to stay.
What if it's a lie?
Huh?
What if it's a lie?
What if it's a lie?
We're getting to that. We're getting to that part. We're definitely getting to that part, because here's the problem. Do you all remember the riots?
No.
You don't, lies.
No, they weren't rioting. They were protests, guy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They were protesting.
John, did we skip over you? I'm sorry, John. He's in the dark.
No, I'm here. I mean, as far as what's up on the board right now, I mean, essentially, I don't agree with any of it. I said that in the beginning, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, I can attest to the fact that, yes, cash bail, you know what I mean, needs to be reformed.
We're getting to that.
Yeah. But this whole, I'm going to take the Cash Bail Act, you know what I mean, and add in 5,000 other things because I'm a politician and, you know what I mean, such and such won't play with me and tickle my fucking balls. So I'm going to fucking slide in so that I can fucking get my way and make it look like I'm doing something fucking great for this fucking world. It's absolutely fucking asinine. And so as someone had said it earlier, you know what I mean? It's not so much, I get that there's at different point, there's bad apples within the police department, but there's bad apples in every fucking job that you work at. Every fucking job has some fucking knucklehead. The only difference is it's more publicized because of the police and their powers. And it's the politicians that we need to fucking reform.
True.
With the term limits and getting people fucking stop living up there, fucking just getting rich off of everyone. And it's on both sides. I'll tell you right now, people automatically think that based off of my rant from earlier that I'm a Republican. Guess what? I'm not. Not that I want to get into politics. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. There are absolute knuckleheads on both sides of the fucking line. Absolute total morons. All they care about is green.
Okay, Byron asked a wonderful question, and I'm sure Charblades will join in questioning. What are the good cops doing about the bad cops? Guess what we're doing about the bad cops? It depends. I'm going to sit here and tell you this. I had a situation where I was in a particular place and saw a particular thing and said a particular thing and got fucked with. See, that's the part y'all, I swear to God, y'all need to bring your ass over to law enforcement. I swear to God, everybody, the Marines got to say it. And Marquise, you can confirm or deny this. Everybody want to go to heaven. Nobody want to die. Everybody want to be a good police officer or want a good police force. Nobody wants to actually join that shit. I want to see what y'all would do. Y'all call the police the biggest gang out there. You think?
And it's not.
Oh.
And it's not. It's not the biggest gang out there. Because I'm gonna tell you like this.
Who's the biggest gang? I'm curious.
Unless you are part of the majority, which is AKA whatever that full police force believes in, your ass is just as much as an outsider as the next person.
That is true.
So
yes,
I won't. So when it always comes down to the question about the good cops and bad cops, you gotta think about that shit just like military. It's the biggest high school you will ever be in.
I swear to God.
The popular kids are amongst each other, the unpopular kids are amongst each other, and it's a separation. And the thing is, that type of power, you're right. Maybe it shouldn't be in everyone's hands. I'm with you 100%. But how do you negate people based on their background? If their background is squeaky clean, they can become a cop. If a background's almost squeaky clean, you become military. Y'all talked about weight standards. Weight standards are in the military for one reason. Because, for example, Marine Corps, we don't defend quarterbacks. That's why, if you notice, the Marine Corps doesn't have a football team. We don't defend quarterbacks. We defend countries. So when you look at all things and all standards, the standard does not exist. There is no standard for policing. The one thing that's standard in all police departments is the same on the side of the car: to serve and protect. As far as the individuals who wear that uniform, that shit is just about as consistent as the water in Mississippi.
Damn.
That's
we all know how consistent the water in Mississippi is.
That's good. I think that was outstanding that you said that, Marquise, because different departments do have different philosophies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do. That is outstanding. You will go to one department and they are all gung-ho, respectfully, but they're high charging. You know, you got a few, but you got, narcotics, and it depends on what department you go to. And even if you're in a large department like Chicago, there's a district philosophy. That's
and the district, man. And y'all don't want to play. Y'all don't want to play Chicago South versus Chicago North.
Boy, that's
I need to chime in on one thing real quick.
Go ahead.
Going to you, Marquise.
Oh shit.
Yep. So, one of the paths where Marines become officers is to go to the Naval Academy, which has a football team. And they play.
Say that again though. The what academy?
The Naval Academy.
Naval, not Marine Corps.
That's because the Marine Corps is Department of the Navy. Where else?
Yes, we're the men's department of the Navy.
I don't know.
I knew you was gonna say that.
They're the ones that can't count past 10 usually, but
we enjoy a good ass crayon. Don't forget that part.
Exactly. So I just want to point out there are Marines that do play football. They just have to play it underneath our umbrella.
Exactly. But we don't have a team. No matter what, we ourselves do not have a team. You might recruit one or two here and there, but we ain't got no team.
The Coast Guard ain't got a team either.
The Coast Guard don't count. You know what? I'm sorry for anyone that might be Coast Guard.
The Space Force got a team. I'm just playing. All right, keep going, guys. God damn it.
Sorry, I'm not drunk enough for this conversation.
All right. The Space Forceans. I think that this is going to be a major issue because here we goes. You guys won. Not anybody on this panel, but whoever wants the police to stop it, this bill is going to do it. Because if I were the police, oh my God.
Well, it's going to do it, but I'm going to tell you like this. There was this whole conversation about defunding the police that made me mad. I'm like, dude, what do you think happened in 2020 and 2021? We lost 65% of our police force.
Mm-hmm.
That mission was accomplished.
Yeah.
This right here is the remaining 35%. Like, I'll wait. Because if anyone can file a false claim, if anyone can judge me on how I do my job when I'm by myself, because
Kyle,
again, let's not pretend disparity of force is not real.
Hold on for a minute. Kyle,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Kyle, Young, I'm going to put your comment up there because you're about to get it. First of all, Kyle, it's not clickbait. We've been talking about the law. We've been talking about certain tenets of the law. You could either sit here and be in class, or you could exit the room, or we can make it happen. It's not clickbait. You came to class late.
Let me help out with that.
Go
The
ahead.
Purge Act isn't just about the no cash bail.
Yeah.
There are the Purge Act, which AKA is the Safety Act, encompasses policing and the no cash bail and other entities involved within the Purge Act. It ain't just, oh my God, we're going to talk about the fact that no cash bail exists. It's more to it.
Right.
And that's the reason why all of us have an issue with most of y'all now. You only want to talk about the part you think affects you. You don't want to talk about the parts that encompasses everything that's about to change. Yes, there's a no cash bail, but now you have to understand why police officers might be standing on the sidelines waiting for shit to go down.
Boy.
This is the part we're explaining. Why the police might not get involved before we get to the fact of cash bail and why it might be a problem.
Yeah.
Mike, how many pages was the total act?
764. And I looked at all
Okay,
of them.
so guess what? Anybody that think that this is clickbait, go read all 764 by
Right.
your damn self and try to understand that shit by your damn self.
And
'Cause
I'm telling you,
I got drug out after the first couple of them.
And I'm telling you, yeah, I agree. Everybody need to stop saying it's the purge, because that's not it. But the policing part can lead to it.
Yes, the policing part is ain't no lead to it. The policing part is why it's a Purge Act.
Yeah, fair
The
enough.
same,
That's-
the same
I mean,
way.
forget
But here's this. No
The
one's
same way
saying that.
defunded the police. The same way defunded the police led to the 65% of the officers said, "Fuck this, I'm out of here. I
Right.
go ahead and take my retirement now. I go get another city job and sit on my ass pushing paper, and I ain't got to worry about it." Now CPD is begging people for jobs, begging people to come and work, and the ones that are still out there, they got they high speed chains go right past when they sit there drinking their coffee. It's a whole ball. It starts off small and it ends up with a bunch of bullshit.
I'm gonna read Charblade's comment. As a manager, I also corrected bad behavior and fired anyone that couldn't comply. Period. The sergeants and captains are like managers; they know their team. I think that the sergeants and captains should be held responsible for recognizing bad cops. In my opinion, their job should be in jeopardy of them continuing bad behavior on the force. And all I'm telling you is this, Charblades: when you gonna sign up? If you in Chicago police been looking for extra people, when are you going to sign up? Because it's easier to say that when you sit on the sidelines until you get immersed in police culture and watch how we going to see you doing exactly the same shit all that shit that you talking when you thumbing. And don't get me wrong, and this is not an attack against you. I value your opinion. I understand where it comes from. It comes from a position of the sidelines. It comes from the position of, that's just like saying everybody rated thug until it's time to bang out. Everybody got a big dick till it's time to fuck. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got shit to say until it's time to actually do that thing. And then when it's time to do that thing, and then you step in, I'm telling you, y'all just don't understand police culture, but you're about to. You're about to, because I'm telling you. Go ahead, Katie.
It's just like COVID.
You next.
Everybody thought that their kid was the perfect.
No, don't shut up, Sean.
Everybody thought their kid was the perfect little student until it's time for them to teach them their goddamn self. That's what it came out to, where you realize what type of POS that you were sending to these teachers for them to teach. Is a lot of these people don't realize they got friends and acquaintances that if their friend and acquaintance don't have their back 100%, they disown them. So what do you think is going to happen if you're on a police force where you feel like your partner don't have your back?
Ooh.
And Shar, never shut up.
Yeah, please.
We value your opinion. We want that type of stuff. But the other side of this too, and we got to move on to the next slide, because I'm going to tell you like this. Unless you've been in that group, and God forbid if one of the dirty ones is a person who saved your life on countless times.
Ooh.
You guys don't understand the sense of loyalty in a fighting hole.
Boy, you
I'm
ain't saying
telling you right now. If you done took shots with somebody, I'm telling you right now. If you broke bread with someone, been shot at with someone, fought a battle with someone, had drinks with someone, y'all don't understand. I'm not saying because this person saved my life that I'm not going to report their behavior, but understand that that whole police force or that group is going to look at me like, wait a minute, this dude saved your life and you threw him under the bus?
So the
God
next time
forbid
your
if your
life needs
vest
to
don't
be
work that day.
saved,
God forbid if your vest don't work that day.
Y'all just don't. I swear, y'all just don't understand. Here we go. You said blue team loyalty is why we can never be part of that team. You don't understand. You don't. And the thing is, that's cool. It's not for you to understand. It's just not for you. And we're not trying to say that we're covering up for bad cops, but then here's this thing that I find that the SB squared community, thank you, Marquise, the SB squared community doesn't really understand what is bad. You all sometimes sit here and protest shit that looks bad, that strategically, tactically, legally isn't bad, but you don't like the way it looks.
No, let's take it a step further. You guys the people who want to complain about bad cops, you condone bad behavior on a regular basis. How many times have you called the police on the drug dealer you saw down the street? How many times have you called about the person that did the shooting on the end of the block? How many marches have you did in your own damn neighborhood instead of marching your ass to every police station? How many times have you put your alderman on the chopping block because your block is hot and no one's stopping that shit? My thing is this, and I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm gonna say this. If 2 cops kill 2 black people per month, that's 48 black people. In 1 weekend, we got 54 black people shot or either killed. Stop it. Miss me with the bullshit. I don't major in minors.
With no suspects. With no suspects.
I don't major in minors. When y'all want to get on this level and really have this conversation, we can do this. But right now, I'm going to be good and focus on the comments about misconduct highlights and getting this purge bill. But y'all don't want to have this black on black conversation. So just stop.
Right.
Let's focus on this content. When y'all ready to have this conversation, I'll ask Mike to do a special show. We'll have y'all coming here live to have the conversation. Let's keep it 100. Y'all not marching about your neighborhood, but you will march and raise Black Lives Matter over some bullshit with a cop.
Hold on. And then during the riots, the George Floyd riot, we fucked our own shit up. Then went to the Hispanic community, especially in Chicago, had the nerve to try to get their shit. And then when they fucked some black folks up, now we're going to have a black on Hispanic war after we done fucked our own shit up. Miss me on that.
Next slide.
How about the fact that older people can't go to fucking Walgreens like they supposed to on a regular basis because more Walgreens got shut down based on the riots and all the bullshit that went on in 2020? How about the fact that CVS's and all these other places that all the older folks, man, y'all better go on, dude.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I agree. Here we go. Get rid of qualified immunity. I agree. Get rid of qualified immunity and make us have to have insurance. And I can't wait. Let's let the magic fly. Because if you get rid of qualified immunity and make us have to have actual insurance, professional liability insurance, here's what you don't understand. All 4 of us on here are professional instructors. We all have professional liability insurance. You know what that means? We reserve the right to choose whether or not we want to serve you because the liability is all us, not on the government. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's make the police have 100% qualified immunity done away with and make them all get professional liability insurance. And watch, let me tell you this, eyeballs on me right freaking now. And this is not the comments of anybody else on this panel. I would love to walk away from you getting your ass beat. I would love to have the ability to decide I am not going to put the department in this trick bag, and I am not going to get in this trick bag either. I would love to pick and choose who I could walk the fuck away from. I will respond and I will watch. I'll get it all on the body camera and I will walk the fuck away after you get dusted the fuck off. And I won't get sued at all. Why? Because the government can't make me because they're not insuring it. And I won't even pull out my gun. You will have there will be no cop shooting no one because we're not going to be close. I can't wait. I hope you get what you're asking for. But guess what? Who is that going to affect? Not you strong motherfuckers who got the ability to do shit. It's going to affect your grandmother. It's going to affect your wife. It's going to affect the children. It's going to affect the least of those who can't protect themselves. That's who it's going to affect.
Yep.
And we're not even protecting ourselves in our own community. We'll walk away from a woman getting her ass beat saying, that's not our business.
No,
so
we
don't
our
protect
phone and
our
videotape.
own shit. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Next slide.
Next slide. Thank you, guys. Other policing highlights. Requires officer to issue a citation rather than arrest for certain low-level offenses. I ain't got no problem with that. No problem with that. Yeah,
keep rolling.
Provides confidential mental health screening and counseling for officers. I don't know about that. Amends.
I like that.
Oh, you say you like that?
I like that.
Yeah.
Confidential mental, man.
Ain't your business.
Yes.
It ain't your business.
Yes. That's almost leaning towards anger management.
Yeah. Let's be honest. If I go and see a shrink because I'm stressed out about the job, I'm ready to fuck somebody up while broadcasting to everybody. Let me go get my help. You know what I'm saying? Woo side, grab my earlobes and get back to the job.
Explain pre-arrest diversion.
Amends police pre-arrest diversion. So there are some programs where, you know, people need homeless services. People need, you know, food shelters. You know, people need other things. People actually need social workers. I mean, I don't have a problem with pre-arrest diversion and deflection programs. You know, for collaboration with other first responders and community partners. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't understand the term. That's all.
Yeah,
because that's like pretty much a deterrent where instead of arresting someone for sleeping on the park bench, we have programs to get them somewhere else so we don't have to arrest them.
Hey Marquis, the police station downtown right there on 18th in Michigan, every night they have at least 10 homeless people that come and try to turn themselves into the police station so they can go to jail because it's too cold outside to stay warm or to get food. So that's like that's a regular for them. And a lot of times they try to turn them around and tell them like, no, leave out the police station, and then that makes them go and commit some type of low-level crime where they know they get a couple of days, but not that many days. I actually just watched this a video of a guy that wrote the local newspaper. He used to work for I think Budweiser or one of the big time drink companies, and he lost his job. He didn't have health insurance anymore. And the doctor told him that the procedure that he needed was going to be very expensive. So he wrote the local newspaper and told them, I'm going to rob a bank. He went into the bank, gave him a note, and he robbed the bank and told the lady to give him $1 bill. And when he got the $1 bill, he went and sat down and waited for the police just so he could go to jail to get the procedure done that he needed to get done to save his life.
Yeah, that makes sense. Once it was explained, that was good.
Kenny Ray said CPD routinely calls CFD EMS to take those people to be housed at local ER, and it's a drain on our resources. Yeah.
But then let's not also negate suicide by cop. So again, there are certain aspects of this that people don't understand because that is also a big one. Yeah. So let's be mindful of that too. There's one thing for pre-arrest diversion. It's another thing when a person literally is asking to be shot and killed because life is too hard and it's the only way they can get the money. So be careful of that too.
Yeah, you're right about that. You are right about that. All right, here we go.
Hold on one quick. I want to jump in. So someone had made a comment, I don't know who it was, about the mental health aspect.
Sure.
So provides for confidential mental health screening and counseling. So made a comment, you know what I mean? Well, how come if we go talk to someone, our goods take away, but a cop's doesn't?
Shit.
That is not necessarily true.
That is not true.
Okay. So I suffer from PTSD currently, and I go see a social worker. I'm an instructor. I have my guns, everything else underneath the sun. Going to talk to someone doesn't necessarily disqualify you from having a firearm. Now, are there certain things, if you say them, you know what I mean, because those are the thoughts you're having, then yes, you could lose your firearm. If you are feeling suicidal, if you are feeling like you're going to commit homicide or anything of that sort, you know what I mean, to the public. So essentially, if they deem you as being a threat to yourself or the public or your family, then yes, you're going to lose your firearms. But just because someone is having, you know what I mean, a hard time dealing with the fact that they rushed into a house, you know what I mean, and seen a child that was raped and beaten, you know what I mean, to death and mutilated. And now they have to live with that inside of their brain with nobody to talk to. You know what I mean? We're supposed to bring that home to our wives or our husbands and bring that stuff home to them. We could, depending on the type of relationship we have.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we want to protect our spouses from that type of stuff because they're already worried enough as it is. So who are we supposed to go talk to? What if we're not heavily religious? So what? Now I get nobody to talk to? I get nobody that's a third party, completely subjective to the fact.
And think about it this way. If the United States took care of the United States as much as we did other countries, we probably wouldn't have the problems we have now.
Whoa.
I'm not even going to get into the VA.
Because, I mean, no, let's be real. We send so much money over to other countries. We have brown water and tainted water still in Flint, Michigan.
True fact.
We are, when it comes to mental health in our country, it's laughed off. Yeah. Think about it this way. And again, I'm going to move on because we're not going to go there. This is a whole nother conversation. Right now, you live in a society where a pedophile is a mentally attracted, a minor attracted person. A person who's attracted to minors is a pedophile now. Because that was more important to put in the books than dropping the N-word anywhere. So again, if the United States took care of their own as hard as they did other countries, I promise you, we wouldn't have the FDA prescribing every damn drug with more side effects than the damn thing it cures. Because the money will actually go towards real research to find out what the root of the problem is. But again, let's not go there. We're still talking about other policing highlights.
That's it.
Next slide.
Yep. All right. Here we go. I just wanted to be a space cadet. All right.
I want to be Buzz Lightyear.
Pretrial highlights. It prevents the risk. It prevents the results of a risk assessment from being the sole basis for a detention decision and informs the accused of the purpose for the tool. Changes pretrial release procedures, including release on own recognizance, warrant alternatives, conditions of release, including electronic monitoring, home confinement, revocation, and modification of sanctions. And they may revoke pretrial release under certain circumstances. And it abolishes cash bail. We're going to get to more of that stuff because there was a meme that came out. You all remember seeing this meme?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Illinois non-detainable offenses beginning January 1st, 2023. Aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official.
It also was an article in the paper.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. It was also an article in the paper.
Yeah. So, those articles in the paper were opinion pieces. They misstated some important information, even Colion Noir.
So where did he get his quote from?
I don't know the specific paper he got it from, but I know I just released a video on this page, and I'm going to show it to you all, debunking his theory, because he read it from someplace else. And when he read it from someplace else, they were wrong. And
so
I'm
that verbiage is not in the act?
That verbiage is okay. Let me get to explaining this so that way we can see where the what's being left out. Okay. So the one thing that this has in common is, let's go to it. Aggravated battery is a class 3 felony. The P means probationable. Aggravated DUI, class 2 felony, probationable. Aggravated fleeing and eluding, first time, class A misdemeanor, do it 3 times, class 4 felony, probationable. Arson, probationable, class 2 felony. Burglary, class 2 felony, probationable. Drug-induced homicide, class X, probationable, right? Intimidation.
How is it probationable?
Hey, just say
you high killing people. Why the fuck would that be probation?
Don't
you
think
is high killing people.
No, that's not what drug-induced homicide means.
Give it to me.
Drug-induced homicide is when you give someone drugs and wait a minute.
They die from it?
I think that's a part of it. Yes, I have to go back and check. Yeah, I think that's what drug-induced homicide is.
So if I kill somebody with drugs, it's only probationable?
Wait. Let me verify. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Intimidation, right? Class 3, probationable. Okay. So probationable. And I'm going to tell you where the probationable part comes in. Here we go. Kidnapping, class 2, probationable.
How is that I'm sorry.
It is probationable. I'm going to tell you how.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh, hold on. And this bill didn't make it probationable. They were already probationable.
Right. No. I understand that.
Right.
And that's why I kind of understand why those are now non-detainable because they're probational acts.
Yes.
Which is the problem with the law.
Well, here we go. Second-degree murder. Do you know second-degree murder is probationable? It's a class 1 felony. Guess who was charged with it? And didn't get probation? Jason Van Dyke. Because if you look at the terms or the statute, and I suggest to you all that if you really want to understand the elements of what juries are told to consider, you can literally
now because I got jury duty in October.
Oh, lucky you. Hope it's fun. Wait, you ain't gonna get no damn jury. As soon as they find out your background, they gonna do a peremptory challenge.
How much you want to bet?
Hey, I hope you do serve on jury. It's gonna be fun for you. Every time they figure out, I remember when I got summons and they was like, "You the police?" Yeah, we respectfully. I got out of that shit.
I've got one summons and nowhere.
Like that's it. That's all I got was one. Shar, go get something to eat. I don't want you to debate on an empty stomach. Yeah. Here we go. So second-degree murder is a class 1 felony. Oh, look at you. All right, it's probationable. Here we go. Then threatening a public official, class 3, that too is probationable. What makes it probationable, the common factors, 1, probationable with low or no background. Low or no background and certain mitigating evidence, right? Certain mitigating factors you qualify for. Just because you qualify for it doesn't mean you're going to get it. Right? So there's that. Let's get to Illinois sentencing guidelines. For those of you all who don't know, who live in Illinois.
Let's pause right here, y'all.
Go ahead.
So just so y'all understand, those of you watching, those are all forcible felonies. But due to the law of Illinois, even though in our mind, those are some serious felonies, in Illinois, it's considered probational. So that's why the forcible felonies on that act are mentioned, because technically in Illinois, they're not that bad. Which goes to show blue states rule.
Hey, look, all right. Sentencing guidelines, you got class M, which obviously stands for murder, right? Class X, 6 to 30, class 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So these are, just I just figured I'd throw that in just for extra education. Okay. Here we go. Let's push. So non-detainable offenses, we're talking about a person arrested without a warrant for offense in which pretrial release may be denied, they are taken without unnecessary delay before the nearest and most accessible judge in that county. All right. And I don't want to read all that stuff because it doesn't matter. They're taken before the judge, right? And a charge shall be filed whenever a person is arrested, either with or without a warrant, and they are required to be taken before a judge. A charge may be filed against such a person by way of two-way or closed-circuit TV system. They're just talking about how it's done now that we've got Zoom, okay? Here's the citation part. Law enforcement shall issue a citation in lieu of custodial arrest upon proper identification for those accused of the following: a traffic offense. I've written plenty of these. Class B and C misdemeanors. Now, I know in some of that stuff, right? In some of that stuff, thank you very much for this, it was said, well, trespassing. We can't remove trespassers and lock them up. You can remove them. You just can't arrest them now. You got to charge them with a citation, and then they get 21 days to come to court. You can still remove them from the premises.
How?
It's just, yeah, because you could physically remove them from the premises.
That's arresting them.
No.
You can't just grab
We
them.
escort people out all the time without arresting them. We escort people out all the time without arresting them. That ain't arrest is now in some departments, it's departmental policy. Once you put hands on, cuffs go on. Me, I've always been insubordinate.
That makes more sense then. I'm like, you escorting them off the premises from the trespass doesn't mean they can't turn around and come back in there.
They
That's
could.
I was about to say. So what's to stop them to come back, obviously, back on the property?
Well, see,
all of a sudden, police come back out again, issue them another citation. They're escorted off the property.
Yeah.
I'm going to wipe my ass with this piece of paper, and I'm going to go back in.
Yeah, but see, so let me tell you some of the things that we kind of do on the streets, and I'll tell you, I don't care. I'll tell you this. It ain't gonna harm, no foul, right?
I see. Hold on, you're talking about things we're doing on the streets. I'm going off of just the law.
No, we ain't. But see, that's what you don't. If you ain't been on the streets, you don't know what we talking about. Would put your ass in the back of the car and take you to another part of town and set you there. It'll be a long time before your ass make it back to that spot again.
If you make it back, depending on where you get dropped off at.
Hey, look, okay?
I mean, I've
swimming with the fishes,
Story.
Oh, no, I ain't talking about swimming with no damn fishes. I'm just saying we're going to put you in the car, and that particular place is not going to have to worry about you coming back to that particular place because you're going to be dropped off someplace else. There's always things that could be done on the streets.
Yes, but that's going to depend on department.
We said that, right? Different departments do different things. Now, here we go.
Different people.
Matt Twig says, new law says clear as day. Law enforcement officers can't do anything about trespassing. It's a ticket. Matt Twig, cite the specific statute. I'll wait. Because here's another part of that conversation some of these officers are not willing to have. Some of you don't know the law to save your fucking ass. Put me in a room with you and I will wipe your fucking brain with how much I know about the law, and your ego will be connected to that loss and you will try to lock my ass up. Some of you cops are dumb as shit. I've supervised you. I've worked with you. So don't come to me unless you're going to quote statute, because that's what I got in here. Straight statute. You're fucking with the right brown person.
You can't be light skinned?
Hey, call a spade a spade.
Because
it's easy. You know what? And I'm just telling you, former cop myself, some of these dumb cops be the most egotistical I know the law motherfuckers. And as soon as you check them, they're angry. So cite the statute that you're referencing. Hold on, here we go. As a cop, you will do what the mayor tells you to do. Ha!
Not all the time.
You better ask Beetlejuice what happened.
Boy, please.
Wait, don't say that name 2 more times. We're screwed.
Boy, please. Talk about as a cop, you will do what the mayor asks you to do. Shit.
If that was the case, she wouldn't be part of security. Just remember that. if it was you do what the mayor said, the mayor would never need private security.
I swear.
Never.
I swear.
Every mayor I've been around, every mayor, every governor,
State
minus
representative.
DeSantis, has always had their own private security.
Telling you. And didn't the mayor of Harvey get shot at today?
No, the mayor of Harvey's law security agent shot at a person that was robbing an old lady.
Oh, they should provide more context.
Mm-hmm.
That's the media for you.
I know, and that's why I got it. That's why I was just telling my wife about.
Right.
Because I have to go do it. You know what?
Say less. Yep, got it. Move on. That's it. Say less. Got it. All right. So here we go. Traffic, Class B and C criminal misdemeanor offenses, and petty business offenses. And here's this.
Trespass.
Here's the reason why. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on. Here's the reason why some of these cops are mad. Because y'all gotta do more work. Here's the reason why some of these state's attorneys mad. Because now you got to file more petitions to keep people in jail. Don't get mad. You decided you wanted to be this shit. I'm just saying. Hey, if I was still on the job, I wouldn't have a problem doing it. Hey, Kenny, if you still in the room, how many tickets did I write per shift? This wouldn't be shit for me. I wouldn't give a fuck. But there's a lot of lazy ass cops that don't want to do shit. We don't have that conversation. Oh, here we go. Gordon Henry, somebody else who came into the room with his dick hard with bad information. Sounds like Mike supports this safety act. Gordon Henry, shut up. Moving on. I just had to do that just because it was fun. Let's move on, y'all. All right. Citations issued to those or more stipulations that make people understand that the Safety Act in part isn't bad, but part is horrible. Here we go. Citations are only issued to those who pose no obvious threat to the community or any person, or who have no obvious medical or mental health issues that pose a risk to their own safety. Guess who makes that determination? Sounds like the police.
But didn't they just say kidnapping was not an arrestable offense?
No. We're not talking about that. No, we're not talking about that. That's not what that means. This is kidnapping is not a class B or C.
Okay. So this is a continuation with the class B or C or traffic.
This is just traffic class B or C. Yeah, so that's that. But here's this. Cops want to say, well, we don't have no control. Yes, you do. It literally says you only issue citations to those who pose no obvious threat to the community or any person. Guess who makes that determination? You do.
You do.
So if that person does pose an obvious threat, guess what you got to do? Probably call the state's attorney and find out shit.
Yeah,
or divert them to some other kind of other mental health services.
Or drop them off at Kim Fox's house.
Oh, wow. Don't do that shit.
She gonna slap the shit out of them.
Hey, listen, moving on. Those released on citation shall be scheduled into court within 21 days. Guess what? If you actually paid attention, that's the same amount of time we would give them for a ticket on the court key anyway. Stop acting like this some new shit. Some of y'all just ain't never done no goddamn work.
Or crime. Because I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Gordon Henry, we're going to go ahead and take care of you. Well, I'm quick on that block game. Strong as fuck. Moving on.
What did you say? I didn't see the...
Hey, shit, you won't see it because I blocked that shit. Moving on. Fuck with me. All right, here we go. Here is denial of bail. Denial of bail. Now we get to talk about the cash bail shit, right? Here we go. Under the old system, denial of bail in non-probationable felony offenses under section 110-6.1 of the Illinois Code of Criminal Procedure. I'm going to show you the difference between what it is now and what it's going to be. Any felony offense for which the sentence of imprisonment, here we go, without probation, periodic imprisonment, or conditional discharge is required by law upon conviction when it is alleged that the defendant's admission to bail poses a real and present threat to the physical safety of any person or persons. That sounds pretty broad.
It does. No, it doesn't sound pretty broad. That is pretty broad.
That is pretty broad. So let's talk about what it is now. Bam. It's more specific. Forcible felony offense. And we're going to get to the list of forcible felonies. I got that here for you.
You just saw
Forcible felony offense for which the sentence of imprisonment without probation, periodic imprisonment, or conditional discharge is required by law upon conviction, and it is alleged that the defendant's pretrial release poses a specific, real, and present threat to any person or the community.
Right.
So when Colion Noor was saying what he was saying, he said that this new bail reform does not even take into consideration the safety of the community. And it is clear if you read the law, that's not true at all. It still talks about the safety of the community. You just have to specify.
Well, yes and no.
Well, here we go. I listen to Bond Court every day, so I'm wanting to hear.
And I'm saying yes and no because the whole thing is this. It still goes back to our list. If you look at our list, those are some serious offenses that you can get probation for. If those offenses weren't probational, they wouldn't fall under this.
Hold on for a minute. Bill Davis, say your last comment, and it better be respectful, because if it ain't respectful, my block game is on deck. Repeat what you said, Marquise.
So so the list of offenses we looked at, and again, we're going by Illinois law. Okay. The list that Mike read off at first are all forcible felonies.
True.
But they're probational forcible felonies. If those felonies weren't considered as weak as they were by Illinois state law, they wouldn't fall under this as non-detainable.
Well, it's not that they don't see. Okay, Bill, thanks.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put you in timeout so you can get your mind right. Here we go.
But you see what I mean, right?
Yeah, I see what you mean. But the thing is, I think people are misunderstanding. See, it's not the fact that the forcible felony is weak, because what we're looking at is
no. Not the forcible felony is weak.
Yeah.
The fact that it can be probational makes it look like a weak ass offense.
It makes it look. But see, that's where we got to get to the crux of the law, because we haven't even gotten to the petition that has to be filed to keep them in jail.
Hey, Mike. And I got a text message because they said that with those forcible felonies on the conceal and carry side, a lot of people are looking at these forcible felonies. You're able to use
deadly
force
for those forcible felonies. So you're able to use deadly force for a forcible felony that is probational.
But see, here's this. You can't be okay. I'm sorry. Finish. I'm so sorry. Go
on. But that's where the confusion is coming in. That like I'm using deadly force for something that you could potentially be non-detainable or what's it called? That's
probational.
Here's this.
Right.
This. I'm glad that you brought that point up. Looking at it from the perspective of the person's sentence that they could be sentenced to falls outside of the thing that the average concealed carrier should pay attention to, which is the guidelines of Section 7 of the Illinois Criminal Code that talks about justifiable use of force, not Chapter 730 Illinois Compiled Statutes Act 5, which is the Illinois Code of Corrections, which is the sentencing guidelines that a person can be sentenced to. Those are not the same two types of analyses, right? What a person can be sentenced to is when they are subjugated or pushed into the criminal justice system. If they're confronting you to try to harm you, they haven't gotten to that system yet.
Dig that. But in that same token, I don't know, man. I think we all just have our own personal opinions on this, because in my mind, I'm still stuck at the fact that second-degree murder is a probational offense.
Yeah, it is, and it's gonna be. Here's
right, or the fact that kidnapping is a probational offense. Like, dude, if you kidnap my kid, you better hope the cops catch you before I do.
But that's just one context of kidnapping, right? That's just one context of Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna put people in timeout and start blocking folks. I'm not about that, because this is a wonderful conversation for those who find value in it. Got them. All right, here we go. And people don't understand. StreamYard make it easy to block folks. That's why my fingers so quick.
So under kidnapping, are you talking about the fact of like holding someone against their will type deal of that kidnapping as opposed to abduction kidnapping? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes. And here we go. Even with second-degree murder, because if you look at 720 ILCS 5, section 9-2, which is second-degree murder. If you remember the Jason Van Dyke trial, second-degree murder means you meet the elements of first-degree murder, except there are mitigating circumstances. Two aspects of that. One, it's a sudden and intense passion. You caught your husband cheating. You caught your wife cheating, right? Now, at a minimum, you get 10 years.
But is manslaughter second degree?
It's a part of that. That's a lesser included. That's a lesser included, right? But if you look at it, what Jason Van Dyke got convicted of was his belief that his actions were reasonable, but upon being submitted to the justice system, they were later determined by the triers of fact to be unreasonable.
So pretty much it was no premeditation.
There was no premeditation. And so that's the mitigating factor that takes it from first and breaks it to second. And that's what makes it a class 1, because they can't just outright just excuse. Now, I don't know when the last time a person got probation for second-degree murder in Illinois. I don't know, honestly. But if you look at the tenets of the law, and I urge anyone interested, go look up Illinois jury pattern instructions. These are the instructions that the judges give to juries, right? Gives to juries when they have to make their decision on guilt. I found that website absolutely informative because there's the statute, and then there are the instructions that the judge is going to give the jury so you can see, these are the elements that they look for in determining whether someone is guilty or innocent, right? Let's get on with this. Here we go. The following charges are subject to denial of pretrial hearing, right? Forcible felonies, right? That's section 2-8 of the Illinois Criminal Code. Aggravated stalking or stalking, domestic battery, aggravated domestic battery, any weapons offenses under section 24 of the Illinois Criminal Code, involuntary servitude, involuntary sexual servitude of a minor, right? Here we go. Trafficking, non-probationable violations. The person has a high likelihood of willful flight to avoid prosecution and is charged with any felony under section A1 or A5 or through A5 of this section, or B, a felony offense other than a class 4 offense. So when people don't read the law, they think, it's going to be catch and release. That's not what this statute says. Here's the forcible felonies. For those who don't know: treason, murder, predatory criminal sexual assault, aggravated criminal sexual assault, robbery, burglary, residential burglary, aggravated arson, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated battery.
Where's aggravated assault? Where's aggravated assault? Is that up there?
Aggravated assault is not aggravated assault is not a felony. It's a misdemeanor. Class A. Right? It's like pointing a gun at somebody. It's class A misdemeanor. Strike that.
That's not a forcible felony?
No, aggravated assault is not a forcible felony. You know why? I was charged with that shit. Aggravated, and I was found not guilty of it. So I know that firsthand. Aggravated assault is not a forcible felony. It's not even a felony. It's a class A misdemeanor. I was alleged to have done that. I was found not guilty because that is not what happened.
Is that with the DNA on the? Never mind. We talk about that later.
Yeah. What the fuck are we going with this?
the girlfriend the girl's ex-boyfriend. You alleged. We'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm just trying to wrap my head around what aggravated assault was or what it was supposed to have been.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So anytime you brandish a firearm, technically that's aggravated assault.
Technically, if you are on school grounds wearing a hood and threaten somebody, that's aggravated assault.
Yes.
That's why I thought literally it was a forcible felony.
No. And matter of fact, on my security test, people think because they see the word aggravated, it automatically means a felony. No. Even though aggravated is very prevalent, or I don't know, using the wrong word. Fuck it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Throughout these forcible felonies, aggravated simply means the age and status of the victim, some of the conditions, maybe the clothing, whether a weapon was used, other things that aggravate the crime to enhance the sentencing that a person can get.
Smell their breath. It can be aggravating to smell somebody with stinky breath. I'm just saying.
That's battery all day, all day. Here we go. So, if you ever listen to Bond Court, and I know I have invited people multiple times to listen to Bond Court, if you fancy, look up Cook County Light and Criminal Courthouse, room 100, right? So, if you listen, I don't want to say rarely, very rarely do you find a defendant that comes into the courthouse without a heavy background, right? There's a lot of people that come in there that don't have a 1-in-1, no pretrial, no conditions are recommended under the pretrial assessment by the probation or the pretrial services department in Cook County, right? Most of them come with a lot of background, right? And so what you'll hear is state is seeking leave to file a petition for the denial of bail. I have tendered a copy of the arrest report and any other details or whatever the case may be to the defense attorney. Defense attorney, can you acknowledge receipt? We will acknowledge receipt on the record. Judge will be like, all right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear under section such and such and such and such of the Constitution pursuant to section 110-6.1 that the following petition and proffer you are about to present before the court is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge? State's attorney will say, I do. Please continue. All right, Your Honor, if it please the court by way of proffer, and then they'll go through the whole list of whatever happened, the facts and circumstances in that given situation. Then what they will say is the proof is evident and the presumption is great that the defendant committed the offense. In that they did blah, 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 blah. They pose a real and present danger to the safety of the person or persons in the community. That's what it was before. What it's going to be now is specific. And if you see it right here in the statute, it says, right, identifiable person or persons by conduct, which may include, but not limited to, forcible felony, the obstruction of justice, intimidation, injury, or abuse. Usually, if you listen to these crimes, it has a lot of that stuff in there. A lot of that stuff in the facts proffered to the judge before the court, right? And then here's the last prong test that the judge has to consider before they deny them pretrial release. There is no condition or combination of conditions as set forth in subsection B of section 110-10 of this article that can mitigate the real and present threat to the safety of any person or persons or the defendant's willful flight. These are not heavy burdens to meet. I hear Judge Barbara Dawkins, and I gotta say her name because I remember when she was a newly minted judge. She was a trustee in a south suburb. And I remember, I got to give her flowers because I listen to her almost every day. When I say she is a fair but tough judge, she is a fair but tough judge. These are not hard burdens to meet. They can be met. It's just that now you're going to see prosecutors having to file more of these petitions. That's all it is. Prosecutors and cops got to work harder to keep people in jail. And as a person who's been falsely arrested, I can appreciate that. Because it should not have to be for low-level offenses that a person sits in jail fighting their case. We got to be careful, and I'll end with this, and I definitely want to hear your comments. We got to be careful when we ask the justice system to be so hard and to not. You don't know if that day when you have to use force, if you're going to end up finding your ass sitting in jail on some shit you didn't do. You brandished your firearm, trying to defend yourself, but there's no cameras around. Ain't nobody trying to witness you. John, you a white boy in the hood and shit, and all these folks around automatically calling you racist and shit. And John just trying to stay alive. He's drinking moonshine, he's knocked out and shit.
Oh, no, I'm here.
I'm fucking with you, John, right? But next thing you know, you a white boy, so in a system, you automatically seen as racist people calling for your head. And now you got to sit in there because you ain't got no money. I ain't saying that. You get what I'm saying? It's just like we got to be careful when we ask the justice system to just fuck them. You committed the crime, lock them up. But y'all not singing that same tune when they talking about come for your guns, talking about some Molin Live, whatever the fuck it's called. Come get them from my cold dead hands. And they come get that shit from your cold dead hands. And you end up sitting in the cell. How did I get life? Go ahead.
So let me ask you this: by them going to this no cash bail system, do you feel like it will be it would have been a better thing for them to go to bail bondsmen?
Hell no. We already got overzealous ass security officer. I don't know. Go ahead, Marquise. Deaf community, I'm sorry. Don't cancel me. I can't hear Marquise though. Don't cancel me, deaf community. I was trying to.
Your mute button.
I didn't mute you. You're here, but you're not even muted. Meanwhile, while we're waiting.
Well, see, the reason why I say that is because now now you know what if you don't know, but a lot of people do know with the bail bond system, you can give up other things, and the bail bonds just put the money up in front of the money that you want to take yourself back to court. So therefore, people that are of a impoverished community or impoverished person is not just sitting in jail for a elongated period of time due to the fact that they can't come up with bail money to get out of jail.
Hey, y'all talking about some we just don't want murdered babies in the streets. I wonder who really saying that. Let me see. Okay, Ducky Momo. Ducky Momo.
Murdered babies in the streets.
Yeah, we just don't want more murdered babies in the streets. You think we want that either?
It's not that we want murdered babies in the streets. If you really look at what's going on right now, you got people that's getting out of it. Let's just be honest. Those people that's out here committing these crimes got the money. They know boys. And they getting out any fucking way. Like they getting out on electronic monitor devices, and as soon as they get out, they go and rob somebody or contact somebody else. So it's not like they don't really give a fuck. Like, this is be real.
People sitting here. People.
I was gonna say that kind of goes back to the special show Marquise was talking about that we really don't need to get into tonight because there's babies getting murdered in the street every fucking night,
and ain't nobody saying shit about it.
And no one said shit about it.
Man,
now
shit. I don't know who the fuck did it, even though they know who the fuck did it because the hood fucking knows.
Trust. The hood always knows.
Just like yesterday, they had a shoot over there by Universal Circus. Two groups of individuals met up with each other. Gunshots were rung out. 7 people shot. One person deceased. And guess what? Nobody seen fucking shit. Nobody knows nothing. So until we get our heads out of our asses and start taking responsibility for the shit that we do see, then guess what? We're going to still be having the same conversation in another goddamn 10 years or another 5 years if we even allowed to see that shit because of the fact that nobody wants to say anything about anything. It's so easy for us to talk shit about somebody else who's sleeping with Johnny, who shot, who doing this, who doing that, but yet nobody wants to stand up there and say, hey, he the one that did it, I seen him do it. When the police go ask you for your Ring camera, oh, my camera don't work. Get the fuck out of here. Like, let's be real.
Mike.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Well, Mike, I'm going to say this. I'm make it quick. All this BS talk, y'all aren't cops anymore because y'all don't like cops. It's clear. Mike, let me give you a public service announcement. Mike, you better be worried about what you're going to tell Mary Ellen Sklarowitz Grove about what you're going to do when you fuck around and lose your job. That's what you really should be worried about because you're going to try to go out there and be this overzealous cop and we're going to hear about you on the news because somebody going to file 30 complaints and now your daughter can't go to Marist. Now your son can't go to Mount Caramel. It's Carmel, I'm just playing. Now your other daughter can't go to Mother Macaulay. You know that Mount Greenwood Beverly shit? Yeah, I didn't think so. So here's what I'm telling you. You should be worried about what your exit strategy is. That's what you really should be worried about. Or better yet, let me give you a better idea. Go to Home Depot. Get you a toolbox, right? Fill it up with some tools and have that in your squad. And here's this. When you on patrol, probably in a neighborhood, you don't really get out of the car because when Superintendent McCarthy was the motherfucking superintendent, he made y'all ass get out the car. Eddie Johnson became the superintendent and y'all ass got right back in the motherfuckers and you don't do shit on the damn beat. So here's this. If you're Chicago, let me give you a little project to do. How about you just go knocking door to door, just find out if there's some flowers you could plant, if there's some leaks you could fix, if there's some community service projects you could do, maybe fixing someone's awning. That way you don't have to worry about responding to calls. Because we don't want your punk ass out there any old fucking way.
Hey, he a cop?
I don't know. I'm just saying that shit just in case he is.
Jesus not like it. Cops have nothing to fucking do with it. I will say this. As for the years that I was on the job, there's enough fucktards out there on the in the world that I didn't have to lie, plant, or do anything bogus to get my fucking job done. I had more than enough fucking work due to the fact it's a ton of fucking fucktards. So all we saying is the good ones are the good ones because they're the good ones. The bad ones are the bad ones because they got their ass whooped when they were shorties and they had childhood trauma and all kind of other shit going on. It has nothing to do about liking cops. I like what's right. And what's right is you have a job to do. If you don't like your job, don't take the job. The same way, if you don't like to be touched on and get dollar bills thrown and shoved up your ass, don't be a fucking stripper. That's all I'm saying. It comes with the fucking job. Yes, being a cop is is definitely a special type person is going to take that job. Being a cop, yes, you're going to be scrutinized. You're going to be browse beat because you either going to overdo your job, underdo your job. You're going to be told you're not doing your job right by administrator all the way down to the fucktards on the street. Instead of pulling me over, giving me a ticket, why don't you go stop these murderers and these killers? If your ass wasn't driving so fucking fast, maybe I could have went and stopped the murderers and killers. So regardless to the fact, you're never gonna amount up to nobody's standard. What I'm saying is, it comes with part of the job. I can't be a cop and be mad at paperwork. I can't be a cop and be mad because somebody ran. That's what criminals are supposed to fucking do. So it's not like we're bashing cops. All we're trying to do is break down a law and break down a whole air quote purge that is going to dictate that a lot of cops now are not going to want to police anymore due to the fact of all of the hoops and loops and jumps that they have to go through in order to get the fucking job done.
At least Dale is honest. He said customer service. I am not about that life. I get it.
And I respect that.
Right. You better find something else to do.
It's not for the faint of heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be real. It's not for the faint of heart. A lot of people that sit up there and watch fucking Chicago PD and Orange the New Black and all these other dumbass shows, and y'all think that this shit is easy. Putting on a fucking uniform and going to work and doing a job where you know that the public don't like you, the politicians can't stand you, but yet you have a job to do. That's not an easy fucking job. Half you fuckers don't even want to do the job y'all doing now. How many times you'd have been a Burger King and she got a fucking attitude because you don't want no lettuce on your fucking burger?
I'm just
but
saying.
Yet you want to talk about cops. But yeah, at least we had sense enough to try on the fucking uniform, strap up the boots, and go out there and try to make a difference.
And some of y'all need to be needed. Oh my God. If a person refuse your service, you ready to lock them up. All right, here we go. Oh, that's it. That's all I had. Okay, I ain't had none else. So again, great show. I just wanted to break this down just so people could see some of the tenets of that law. You know, am I saying it's a wonderful law? Hell no. Am I saying it's got some good parts? Yes. Does it have some horrible parts? Yes. Is it clear they just threw some shit together? Yes.
It's kind of like any other law. Like we talked about it all the time in uniform, how administration sits behind a desk with a certain time making decisions for us out the boots on the ground. It's just one of those things that, like, you who was the panel that you guys talked to as to how this is going to affect all of the parties involved. You don't have, I would love to see the day when they have, when they get ready to make laws with those parties involved. They included everybody in a decision making. Bring in some cops, bring in some community people. Now let's sit down and discuss this law as to how to construct this law where all parties involved get something out of it.
Right.
And it works for everybody. Just making a law up because it sounded good in this election season, election year, and you trying to save your job is just not going to work. And that's what a
Well,
lot
here's
of
the thing, though.
Shit, go out and respond to the calls that you're trying to over there and reference. Go with the
Well, here's the
officers that
thing,
are going
though.
on those calls.
And the way this act was said was this act will help out a lot of minorities. This is the way it was written. This is the way it was said. This is the way it was championed. Oh, well, this is going to help out a lot of the minorities. It was like, wow, y'all really signed on this act because you felt it was going to help out a lot of minorities.
Yeah.
You know what that sound like? That sound like some dummy crack.
Exactly.
I just dropped.
And that's literally what was said.
I dropped the link if you want to come on up so we can chat. Including, there's one person in here who is asking a lot of gun questions. You can do that too. So, are we gonna be San Fran? I don't know. Yeah, but if you want to come up, and talk, yes, you're waiving your rights of privacy. So, being a part of this show, you've consented by being on camera that you're part of the show, right? You're waiving your right. I dropped the link. Anybody want to come up? And whatever questions you have regarding this.
No face, no case.
No face, no shit. Too late. Oh, shit. Did you know that while we are waiting to see if anybody is brave and bold to come up, did you know that there is a court that is okay, or there is a court that okayed barring high IQs for cops?
I can believe that. I want a dumbass too.
You said you don't?
I said I would want a dumbass.
Okay.
Well, I don't want someone intelligent to be a cop. I mean, it sounds funny, but think about it realistically.
Yeah.
There's not really much of an IQ test for military. We got an ASVAB, and guess what? Depending on what you score, just depends on what job you get.
That's true. That's true.
But you realize that most of these guys coming out of most guys coming out of college with these big degrees weren't trying to be cops nowhere. They go to sit behind a desk.
And even then, it depends. The ASVAB, yeah, it tells you what you qualify for, but then the military's got quotas. So it's where the fuck they want to place you. You know what I mean? You can qualify to be in the nuke program, but if there ain't no fucking vacancies,
you ain't getting it.
You ain't getting it.
That is true. That is true. Looks like everybody's ready to go to sleep. Nobody's brave.
They quiet. Even
the
trolls, they quiet too.
They quiet.
Because you talking about put them on film. You know that's no.
Oh, they don't want to be on YouTube, but they want the cops to have body cams. No, I'm just That's it. All right. Wonderful show as always. Y'all got any programs or anything like that? Training coming up? Want to make your announcements before we tap out?
I have a use of force and self-defense seminar on September 27th with Dave McDermott, one of our criminal defense attorneys. Again, we are located in Bourbonnais, about 60 miles south of Chicago. The class itself is only $20, which is actually a donation to a local veterans outreach group, Project Headspace and Timing. So if you want your abilities and you live in Illinois and you're looking for the ability to come and ask your criminal defense attorney some of your what-if questions, especially with the new law coming out, and you're looking for clarification and different things like that, this is your opportunity. This is legit your opportunity to come out and talk with an actual attorney that could represent you, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my main one coming up. My October 1st and 2nd concealed carry class is already full. My next concealed carry class after that is October 22nd, 23rd. That still has spots available.
And we got somebody camped up.
Charles, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Good to see you. You guys looking healthy.
Yes,
Yeah, when I first saw this, I'm one that I take my time to read, and I said, well, once I saw it was over 700 pages, I knew I was going to get to it. So when I saw you did a video, I said, okay, good. I'll check the video out. I'm driving around, I catch it. But what I'm catching out of my peripheral is, and I'm getting text messages and phone calls is, Purge in Illinois is crazy. And I'm thinking, what is this really about? And so I just want to say I appreciate you breaking it down, because even Coleon Noir fell into the trap of Purge and never said anything about safe. And that dude is a lawyer by profession. And this is not a knock against him.
Right.
It really isn't. I really think this has more to do with content. I think this has a lot more to do to the attraction to creating content and being consistent with whatever line you hold.
Right, but let's also be fair with that. The laws that are mentioned, the aggravated anything, the kidnapping, the other things like that in other states might not be probational offenses.
Oh, I'm for sure it's not. But that's why I said it would have been best to read the law, not an article. Because if that's what happened, then you can put yourself in a little bit of a what you would call a integrity pickle, right? Where people start to say, "Whoa, man, you got this a little wrong." So when I saw Mike on another channel that I'm on from time to time, I said, "Oh, Mike's there. Oh, this is going to be interesting," because I already kind of know what Mike is going to get and what Mike is going to give. And I said, it's important that we understand what's really happening here.
Kidnapping
is like what Mike said.
California. Sorry.
You're getting what you asked for.
Did you really just compare California?
You kind of get you kind of getting what you asked for.
Did you just compare California there, Mike?
I'm just saying.
Listen, okay. New York City is the same.
Show me any red states that show that these forcible felonies are probational. Give me a red state.
Don't look at me, man. I'm not.
Hey, Marquis.
I'm not there.
But I just thought about this.
I'm listening.
Democrat. The comment that you made is going to help out a lot of minorities. Election year. Hey, John, what's that guy named from down there that's running for governor? Darren
Bailey.
Darren Bailey. Listen, Marquis. When you feel like your opponent has an edge or can possibly potentially beat you, you'll throw out an agenda to make shit go haywire. We've seen that in politics a whole lot. Now,
well, we've already saw it because technically Bailey shouldn't have been the one running against Pritzker. It should have been the brother who was a former PD. But Illinois fell for the okie doke. And Illinois fell for the okie doke because the commercials that went against him called him a liberal and said that he was too liberal for Illinois. So they fell for the okie doke and voted for the more conservative person who is a nut job. So Pritzker has another 4 years coming because Illinois fell for the okie doke.
Beyond
all I'm saying is like Chicago has failed for I don't know 40 plus years.
That's why I'm gonna run for mayor for Chicago.
He made his declaration of candidacy here.
I'm gonna support you.
Shit, I wouldn't support me. I would straight up try to hire. Boy, you know how many Batmans I would hire to work in Chicago?
Yeah.
I keep all the PD. I look for my Commissioner Gordon, and I'm gonna find like 6 Batmans. Like I'm gonna write them off like they PMCs. And for those of you who know what PMC is, you know what the hell I'm talking about.
It's better than Beetlejuice,
bruh.
Listen, I don't know how y'all not look at her and say this is not a good idea. Bruh. Like every time I see her, I think she's having the worst time of her life.
Hey,
Like,
it's not
like,
us on this panel. It's
like,
the masses.
only thing I think is, I don't think Mr. Clean forehead was that clean. Like I just look at her like, because somebody said, Charles, have you ever seen the mayor of Chicago? I said, I didn't know Chicago had a mayor. And they put up the picture, and I jumped back and said, no, that's not real. That's like off of Independence Day, right? Like that's one of them things that Will Smith killed, right? Like, what? How y'all not look at her and say this is not a good idea? How? Every time she speak, I go, I'm waiting for her to go because she forgot to hide the gills. How? Like if you see her smoking a cigarette, the sales will go down. I think they'll burn every tobacco field in this country. I never see anything like it. Like it's shallow to think like that, Mike. But guys, think about it. Like if you saw Tyrone Biggum from the Chappelle Show running for office, you gonna vote for him just because he's a Democrat? And he's shaking and scratching? Like when I see her, I think to myself,
yes, Jeremy. Yes, you
crack
can.
was so bad in the 80s.
Oh my God.
Like the crack era really did a number on our people. I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
Hey Charles, where you from?
Was said out loud.
I'm from New York City, right? But I moved to South Jersey because I couldn't take the city no more.
Gotcha.
But I'm just trying to figure out what was her slogan. Like everybody has a slogan. What was her slogan? If you don't vote for me, I'm going to show up from underneath your bed at night. I'm going to pop out your closet. I'm going to take you to my hairstylist.
Wow, this is said out loud in a sentence.
This is my pretty face on. You don't want to see my ugly face.
So, Robert, how are you? And what was your question, sir?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Robert. I'm sorry, everybody. It baffles me.
Don't apologize. You're just free speech. Keep going.
You can just call me Ashy Larry. So, no, my question was regarding the institution that's the Safety Act. Was the FOP at the table on this?
No.
Or was this just like run through straight through?
Yes.
No, this is straight through. They had different coalitions, like those of the colored variety, that sat at the table and felt that this would be a good idea and somehow would alleviate black crime and black incarceration levels. Excuse me, minority incarceration levels.
Yeah, I understand. I just I'm while I see that there's positives in it, I also see the negatives. And you know, Mike, as you were talking about the repealing or denying a complete denial of qualified immunity, etc., that essentially you would be getting exactly what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
You would just be getting people that want to do the job but aren't going to do the job, because why put your ass in a sling if you got no reason to? And if that's going to be the measure of police force, what is the point altogether? I mean, I understand your point perfectly, Mike. And believe me, I'm no LEO. I'm no cop. I've never been. Obviously, I'm a little bit older, so the opportunity for me to do such a thing would be out of the realm of possibility. However, what I would rather try and do at this point in my life is, how can I begin to make that change? I mean, I can do it on my block. I can do it in my neighborhood, and I'm totally cool with that, you know. And that's what our neighbors are all about. But man, it kills me. You know, I'll listen to the scanner, and I run 15 and 25 districts because they're on the same channel, and it's sometimes, man, it's just brutal. I had such a hard time even comprehending it. You know, for all the people I know on the west side, you know, in the near west side, north side, south side, it's I just it's unfathomable how it seems that people want all of this change, but the change that they're looking for is just window dressing. It means nothing.
Right.
And to me, that's the saddest part, because the refusal to actually help people from politicians, it's boggled my mind for 55 years, you know, and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Right. And the whole thing was it was just done to create votes. This was signed into act in 2021 and is going to go in effect in 2023. The whole thing is this, and this is just the way I'm always going to feel. We need a clean sweep when it comes to government. Everybody who has been in government for their whole life, we need to clean sweep it. Literally, I did an government ethics course today for my job. And some of the things they mention is about if you worked for a company prior, you can't be on an assignment to do a contract with that company because technically that's a conflict of interest. Yet right now you have people in Congress who has stocks but affect policy to make those stocks rich. But yet instead, that's not considered insider trading. So my thing is, if you remove the government element and start from scratch, we can actually clear out some of the catastrophe we've always had for years. Now, I'm not saying, hey, we don't need government. No, trust me, humans need governing bodies because that's what y'all had the Bible for a long time ago. But again, we're not going to go there. But there needs to be a governing body. But my thing is this: what we have right now, we need to do a clean sweep. We need a brand new government, brand new people, brand new blood. People who see and understand and have actually lived the life of a person who wasn't endowed based on family wealth, who wasn't put in office based on their sexual preference, based on the color of their skin, but about the content of their character. We lost that. We lost that a long time ago. No one has been put in office based on the content of their character like they used to. And in my opinion, there was one that was put in office based on the content of his character, but a lot of Americans called him racist. And I'm like, okay, that's how you feel. I'm not going to go back and forth with you, but guess what? Ignorance is what ignorance does. And now you're reaping the rewards.
I feel you. Oh, excellent. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. MSG, you on the mic. Message. Or not. Okay, there we go.
He came off.
He on a train or a bus?
He on a train. He on the red line.
I honestly feel that this new Illinois law is basically their way of making an example out of law-abiding gun owners. Because this law doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. You're basically telling the people that you're going to allow these certain individuals to roam the streets. Okay, fine. But what does that do for the law-abiding citizen that has to defend themselves maybe once or twice within a year? What will happen to them, like legally? Like, can you guys answer that?
You want a piece of that, Mike?
I heard about what
he said that the law is basically saying that these people are going to be able to roam the streets. So what does that do for the law-abiding citizens that have to defend themselves once or twice a year? What is in store for them? Like how do they circumvent that?
they're already. He's not a CTA operator. He's actually right behind the operator, so he's not inside. It would have been darker if he was inside. So, right, yeah, he's not an operator. I got you.
Right,
like
he's gonna be
I have
videoing while he's operating.
right, so, yeah,
like he's gonna be on a video while operating the vehicle. Like, stop, y'all.
No, hell no. It would be darker. So here's this. One, they're already roaming the streets. In fact, they could be in the car that he is in on the CTA because there's a lot of violence that goes on in the CTA. So good job, MSG, keeping your eyeballs ahead of you. I feel you, right?
Back against the wall.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why there's a perfect spot for him to sit in. So the best thing I could say is, just like I've said before, we all have said it on this panel, no concealed carry class and no firearm can beat situational awareness. You can't defend what you don't see coming. So with or without a firearm, situational awareness has to be on point. Conflict avoidance has to be on point. You know, I don't think this law is going to, don't get me wrong, it is going to embolden more people than most, but I think what's going to happen is people are going to test patch the police. In other words, you know how you want to try a fabric to see how something works, and then you test that little patch and see. We're going to see some test patch stuff happening to see how fast police response time is going to be. Then people are going to catch wind of the law that says you can file anonymous complaints, because that's what, and then they're going to start attacking specific officers. And when they start attacking specific officers and you start to see police activity go down and go down, when the police activity goes down even further than it is now, you're going to start to see people's boldness come up. Then you're going to start to see ridership start to slip. You're going to start to see more people illegally and legally carrying firearms to defend themselves, because people are going to be in a panic. I don't see this getting better. I see this getting worse, not because of the cash bail system, but because of the test patch that I'm saying.
Yep, it's going to be 2020 all over again.
Yes.
So, do you guys figure this plays a big role with HR 1808?
You gonna make?
I thought did that get passed or repealed?
No, it get passed. They passed it. Now it's on the way to the Senate now.
Okay. I ain't worried about it then. The Senate would knock that down.
Oh, hell yeah!
With the assault weapons ban.
Hey, MSG, I just want to thank you. Okay, because you made me look some shit up. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the assault weapons ban.
Yeah, they're gonna knock that down. I believe
they're gonna knock that down quick.
Yeah, I believe they're gonna knock that down.
Yeah, because they tried to pass the assault weapon ban, and then they also tried to pass the one where you can sue gun manufacturers for firearms used in crime. Now, when he said HR 1808, I knew exactly what that was.
Yeah.
Trust.
Yeah.
As a person who does not own assault weapons, because assault is a verb. And technically, literally, I'm gonna say this again, and it's going to be recorded once again. The only assault weapon that was ever created was the STG-44. That was the only assault rifle ever created. Literally an assault rifle.
The STG
ain't no more.
Right.
Ain't no more. You heard my verbiage? That's on purpose. Ain't no more.
Facts. I got you, Amber. I'm confused. Can't they be held with just no bail rather than be released? Well, that becomes the problem. It depends on proof, evident, presumption, great, right? No set of conditions that could protect the public or any persons, right? And then it's got to be a specific, real and present threat to that particular individual, right? Or community. Or community. Or
flight risk.
Is that or fragrance? Flight risk.
Risk.
I think said fragrance. I'm like, what? Well, but it's not hard to meet the burden of that, because when you listen to it, and I invite you all, not that you need my invitation, but listen to Bond Court if you can. It makes for a good. I just like it because I'm interested. This is one of the reasons why I listen to it every day, because it lets me understand the tone, speed, and mood of the court when people are getting arrested. Well, that's different, Amber. Parole violators are held with no bail because anytime you violate the conditions of your probation, lead to file violation of, parole is usually lodging a hold against that person and because of that parole warrant, that's a no bail, right? So you could have pretrial release violations, and those violations could vary. The pretrial violations could sometimes be maybe you forgot to call, maybe it's this, maybe that. I can understand the need for bail reform. I can. I just listening to what I listen to, there are some honest people that they're really trying hard. And the circumstances that they get ensnared in, it's really something, right? So go ahead, Marquise. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. I do agree that Illinois needs a police reform and a bail reform. I'm with you 100% on that. We also need to start re-looking at those crimes again, because them shit shouldn't be probational. But I think where the disconnect is that when people see the sense of lawlessness that already exists in Illinois. Yes, Mike, you told us so much about bond court. Awesome. But when I look at the news, when I look at the articles I'm reading about how somebody was on felony parole, which I don't understand that damn term, but it is what it is.
That's a thing.
It was on felony parole, was shot in the hand, was on the expressway doing another shooting. I think what people are looking at more is the sense of lawlessness that already exists, and will this compound interest as of January 1st, 2023? I think that's what more people are looking at. That's just my opinion.
Well, maybe to get more of these people to get out there and get to the polls and pay more attention to who they voted for, or if they voted at all.
They're not going to do that because, simply put, we can't blame it on the voters no more, because you want to know why? Everybody votes based on hereditary knowledge. It's damn near chromosomal. What the hell people vote for?
Well, hopefully this right here will shake up the pot and clack their heads together to realize that.
No, because guess what? The person running against Pritzker wouldn't be running against Pritzker if people finally changed their minds and did their research. The person running against him right now should have never been the person running against him if people went to the polls and did their damn research like they were supposed to. This person would not be running against Pritzker. The other guy would have been. So no one's going to do their homework. They ain't been doing their homework for centuries. Yeah. It is literally a freaking generational vote. My mama vote Democrat. My mother before her vote Democrat. My mother before her vote Democrat. But if you actually went to your history line, you would know that we were Republicans before we were Democrats. But guess what? No one cares about what you're supposed to be doing. I ask one thing. Do your damn research. Stop voting blindly. Vote for your interest. There's nothing people you voted for have actually done for you. If you voted a specific way, I'm not going to go there. Yeah. We're not going to go there. Yep. But again,
I know I voted
your interest.
I know I voted my interest.
Vote your interest. Like John said. Like John said, personally, some of us are independent thinkers. When I was in the military, I was a Democrat who went Republican. But I stopped being a Republican when I just realized I need to vote my interest. Yes. Forget a party. Yeah. I voted for Obama when he wasn't against guns. Yeah. When he was against guns, I voted for his ass no more.
The other hard part, Marquise, with old boy from Aurora is that regretfully he never went south of 80.
Oh God, he never went south of 80.
Wow.
So for the Republican Party, you know what I mean? South of 80 is where all the Republicans are at.
Right. Mm-hmm. How do you not know that? Oh my, not you all, but I'm just saying, how does he not know that?
Bailey's down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
South of 80. So that's the reason why he ended up getting picked over what's his face from Aurora, because again, old boy never went south of 80.
Yeah.
He's stuck up there.
And the commercials used to be, you think he's a Republican, but he's too liberal, a Democrat. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
You need to be in the face of your constituents that you're looking for, rebutting all these accusations that are going on.
Mike,
which are south of 80.
Mike, send me your information so I can see if I can
go
see.
south. You have to. The thing is, to win an election, you have to talk to everybody.
Right.
You have to talk to everybody. The only time that's not true, I hate to say it, is with black people. You ain't got to talk to all of us.
So, old boy from Aurora need to talk to everybody as of yet because he was running for the Republican Party. So he to get in front of all the Republicans. Once he's elected as running for obviously the Republican Party, then that's when you start talking to everyone.
Yeah.
Problem is he went right to the everyone right off the bat.
Yep.
Guess what?
No.
You didn't go see everyone. You never went south to meeting.
Oh shit, MSG, you prior Army?
Unless it was the Springfield. Guess what? Springfield already has the same ideology as Chicago.
Yes, they do. That's how literally Chicago was able to stop all of Illinois from getting concealed carry because of that stupid permit.
Yep.
But MSG, you're prior military?
Well, I see that Gore-Tex on.
Right.
I see that Gore-Tex on.
I was looking at the haircut too.
Got the rank tab.
You are you prior military?
MSG, you prior military?
Blink twice and you can hear us.
Oh shit.
He said blink twice.
Yeah, he might come back in. It's all good.
Nah, if you finna be
no,
walking,
he's
you
back.
have that phone away from him.
He's back. He's probably trying to hit them. What's up, man?
You prior military, MSG?
I served a year. I got out early.
Okay.
You weren't Coast Guard, were you?
Oh God.
That's just me.
I was 88 Mike when I served.
Oh, Motor T.
He was Army.
Okay. Yeah, Motor T.
Yeah. We don't use
It's all
mics.
good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
You mad?
I saw the jacket. It made me ask the question.
Keep your head on the swivel, though.
I'm on my green though.
Yeah. Got that Gore-Tex on. Well, that Gore-Tex was comfortable.
Boy, I wanted the whole. You remember the suit? The one
Yeah.
Your ass thought you was flossing. You was like, boy, wet his boy.
Hey,
you couldn't wait for it to rain.
The Gore-Tex was better than that other jacket. Oh my God.
The field jacket?
Yes. I hated that field coat. Except when you were in the field. And that's all you had. Wait a minute. Hold on. Did Charleston White die? They just said Charleston White dead at 49 years old. That can't be
real. Charleston White.
I'm sorry. He's an influencer. Some just
he ain't influencing much. I don't know who the hell he is. So
right. All right. Anybody got any more questions, comments? We definitely had a wonderful show. Thank everybody for that. Oh, if you guys, some of you all asked about YouTube, the court. Right. There it is right there. Cook County Courthouse, room 100, Layton. Right. You
share the link.
Huh?
Share the link.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. Yeah, because
just put the link in the chat because you're the only one that can do that.
Right. Subscribe to the page. Marquis give you shit for that. Fair enough. Subscribe to the page so that way, and hit the bell for notifications. So that way, when they do go live, you all could hear. And I'm gonna tell you this: felony bond court is 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. 12 o'clock. Come on, fool.
That should be hilarious. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll send me $1.
One thing real quick.
Yeah.
Where I think things are dangerous is when I saw this, it's easy to say, well, that's Illinois. But I currently I still work in New York City.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I know personally a good amount of the police force that is walking out early. They're not even taking their full retirement. These guys are exiting at 45, 50 years old, 52 years old, 15, 17 years. Some are not even waiting until they get to 15 years.
I'm gonna give you
and they lowered the standards of physical fitness and I guess academics or intellectual capacity.
Yeah.
So what are you going to have patrolling the streets in these cruisers in the next couple of years?
Kids.
Well,
Thank you, Amber. It's fine. I appreciate it.
And unfortunately, I got
I
an
love it.
opportunity 2-3 weeks ago downtown Chicago in the playpen to meet the new CPD officers.
No, I'm
And
live.
the new CPD officers were all 3 to maybe 5 years in. I think it was one that was probably 10 years in, and they was wilding out harder than the people in the playpen. Right now, they opened up the floodgates to any and everything coming onto the streets. A lot of those persons don't have the capacity, the mental capacity to understand the job that they're called to do. So
That's
what are you going to have? You're going to have a plethora of those coming in to do the job for the money aspect of it. And when you're
Right.
doing that type of job for the money aspect of it, you tend to cut a lot of corners because all you're trying to do is get past the paycheck. Case in point, us that's on this panel here to teach conceal and carry. If you really break down what we make per person per hour, is really not the money grab aspect of it. It's the passion, it's the dedication, it's the community part of it, it's the teaching aspect of it, and we're not regurgitators. So that's what separates what you say, Mike, instructors from teachers. That's what
curriculum
separates them.
regurgitators.
So it's going to be the same thing with CPD. You're going to have people out there that I'm going to work at this job that I really don't like, but they got good benefits because I make 6 figures within the next 22 months. And they're going to do the job as such.
Yeah, see, well, you know, I was having a conversation with a retired detective, and he told me about 3-4 years ago. No, what year is this? All right, about 3 years ago, he told me. He said, "Listen, Charles," he said, "the problem is that you have lawmakers who are professing that they're doing whatever it is that they're doing for the people, but what's not really being said is that this will only harm the people. What they need to do is, like you said, they send money overseas all the time. They send money, and you got to look at some of these, like the amounts of money they send overseas for research, or lizards who could paint and nonsense like that, right? But you won't give firearm instructors money and resources to teach the concealed carry holder. You won't do it. So you're going to have people, like you said, Mike, legally and illegally carrying firearms for their own protection.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't advance their agenda.
No, it doesn't. And it's a shame. And I just wish we could get to the place where we could stop talking about what we've been through if it's not going to help us progress forward. Sometimes your past can help you progress forward, but sometimes your past is almost like an anchor that weighs you down. And sometimes the conversations I'm hearing is more about an anchor than, like the cars we got when we were kids. Well, I didn't get the car because I was poor. But anyway, the kids that had money, they had the car where you pull it back and it would go forward. Right? That's the only reason why I would see we go back in our past. And that's not what we're doing. What we're doing is some of the same stuff, and we're just going in this circle.
Matter of fact, and I'm going to leave off on this.
Yeah.
If you really want to see how bad it is right now, I think the website is called blueline.com, where it shows all the police jobs available throughout the United States.
Yep.
They got $5,000 signing bonuses.
Damn.
They got what is it called when you're coming from one police department to another?
Lateral.
They have lateral moves into Illinois State Police with signing bonuses.
Well, I know Miami, Florida is doing that.
Yeah,
because I know a guy who retired from New York. He's going to Florida.
I'm saying, if you go, I want to say the website is called blueline.com. It shows every police job available throughout the United States. When you look at all the if you look at how desperate.
Right, the first time, desperate. Right.
Like, hallelujah. If you look at how desperate Illinois is for cops, you will understand why we call it the PURGE Act. because technically, we ain't got no more law enforcement. We are at 35% law enforcement. Look at this stuff. I'm telling you, he just pulled up the website. Look at the signing bonuses.
Damn, Homewood doing 80? What?
Look at the hourly rate. Look at what they're paying people while in the academy.
Look at Chicago ass.
Right. Where you, yeah.
82 after 18 months.
After 18 months. When I tell you the level of desperation, when they said defund the cops in 2020, when they said defund the cops in 2020, it has been done. 65% of cops left the police force.
Wow.
And this is what you're dealing with right now. You have literally right there a lateral police officer in Homewood making 80 grand. 80 grand in Homewood. Dang. Oak Forest is doing it. Crestwood got a nice one going on.
Yorkville.
Yorkville. When I tell you the level of desperation for law enforcement officers is real, and this is academy pay.
72. Shit.
Yeah. Man, we ain't see none of that shit.
Hell no, boy.
Hey, I think I still be shining some boots.
Hey, look up Illinois State Police specifically.
Let's see if they on here.
And remember, this is all over the United States. This is just not Illinois.
This is some high ass starting salaries.
Man, look at Elk Grove, 82, 87.
Cops back in the day, starting salary was no more than 40 grand, if that.
Hey, real quick, Charles, to digress back to your comment about obviously spending money on firearms in the United States. One of the main reasons that will never happen, not only because it's not a part of the agenda, but to understand the larger agenda, i.e., the NWO or New World Order. We are a part of NATO. NATO does not want the United States to have firearms. That's why a lot of the other NATO countries do not have firearms.
Yeah, I mean, it's
damn. I have never seen this many departments hiring.
They actually have a doctrine that lays
Crestwood.
United States.
Mike is flipping out.
Crestwood ain't never did laterals at 76,000
to 110 though. Wow.
Listen, man. Listen, you got to see Miami, Florida. They straight up telling cops from New York City, you can come over and we give you a bonus. We'll try to help you get a house. We'll get you a car at a dealership. It's insane. Like, it's just insane. These cats are just like, they're just getting out of here. They're leaving.
Look at
like, I'm looking on the website now, all Illinois.
Damn. Y'all better catch this bread to sit around and do nothing ass shit.
Yep. And that's why I'm like, literally, if you look at, like I said, there are people out there who believe defund the police never worked. This is your proof right here.
Oh, no. That was another thing that was just political nonsense.
Cicero 91?
Yes.
Cicero, Illinois, yep. And just imagine, y'all just looking at this slowly
crossing
right now.
Guard 79. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead, y'all.
Say crossing guard. Milkmaid. What?
Man, listen. It's real out here, man. And this is I mean, it's sad what it would take for police to be properly paid and trained. I keep saying they need not less training and less money. They need more training and more money. And I agree, Mike. If you take away that immunity and you have guys with professional licenses, you're gonna see a different style of policing.
Hell yeah.
I tell you like this though, for all of y'all watching, if you've ever been a complainer, here's your chance.
Wait. Lateral police
No.
for Evergreen Park. Didn't you say that? 85, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Crazy. Crazy, bro.
Yep, for Evergreen Park.
Hold on. Community service officer 45. Remember that was starting when we started
For PD.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is wild.
This is crazy.
Yep. And like I said, this is all over the United States.
I have never, and I used to live on blueline.com.
I didn't know this thing existed.
I have
man,
never.
this
Hold on.
top red
Why
and
would
black.
you go to Chicago and start at 54 when you can go to the suburbs and start at? All right, moving on.
Because it depends on the suburb. Remember, some places you actually have to have residency in the place you want to serve.
Shit.
Who the fuck want to live in Chicago?
But just remember, though, for Chi-Town, dude, that's the 18 months including your probation. You're getting 54 as a recruit, and after probation, you hit in the 60s.
I'm gonna go to South Barrington.
No, you hit 82 after 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Mike,
Crazy.
Mike just screaming out places he's gonna go.
Right, I'm going to Barrington.
Man, listen here. Now, I ain't never seen no numbers like that.
Hey,
Boy, I ain't
Hey,
never
listen,
seen.
man.
Hey, Kenny, look, did you ever see numbers like that, man? Please, bro. Oh, dude. Robert bowed out. Robert said, "I'm not doing this."
Hey, they
hey,
asked
listen,
for it.
man.
He ain't
I'm
go.
at work, so I'm on to 7 in the morning. So
Yeah, we about to bow. Let's go get something.
Yeah.
They asked for it. He ain't go. They got their wish.
Yep.
And people are saying, "Ain't no amount of money worth being the police in Illinois."
I
Being
don't
the
know if that's true, man.
Being the police ain't being the police. Well, you think about it, Mike, with the numbers we just saw.
Oh,
With the numbers we just saw and the way that they wanted the police now, would you go back?
Me? No. Hold on. I would go back, but the interview would be fun. I'd be like, "So, what do you consider to be your best asset?" My ability to cross kids across the street. I'm serious. I'd be a crossing guard. Boy, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it up. Quinasia. I hope I said your name right. Quinisa. I'm sorry, I messed it up. Yeah, Kenny Ray, you got it good. Hey, are you still pick, Kenny? Yeah, I'm shit. No, boy, please. I'd be like, "Hey, Kenny, you know how I'd be like? I'd be like Bowman. I'd be doing all the community service projects. Oh my God, I'd be doing all the community service projects. I'd be in charge of cell phone distribution. Oh man, I couldn't do it. All right, y'all. Let's get out of here. This has been a long show. It's been informative. Hey, AC, what's going on, man? What's up? Another person I used to serve with. Say y'all thanks. I can finish eating my Popeyes and shit. Can't be like Marquise and dip out and shit. Look at you. I'm eating my shit live on air. Y'all go here.
Nobody answered
John
my
had
question.
already started. It's on you, Marquis.
What was your question, Charles?
Who was your man's opponent in Chicago? Like, if that's who got elected, who was the opponent?
She had no opponent. She had no opponent.
You know why? Can I take a guess? Who's going to do the face-to-face debate? Rachel? I'm sorry, Glenn. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Live. We'll be all day.
I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, I just.
First of all, you about to get me canceled, number one, because when you talking about the
Mike, I've been listening to you for a while. They ain't canceled you yet. They ain't thinking about it.
If I start saying something about them L's,
we'll talk about the alphabet, bro.
Boy,
Mike, wait,
you get us all canceled.
Huh?
Wait, what do you mean? Oh no, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yes.
Oh,
that alphabet.
Hey,
wait a minute.
No, man.
All right, that's all I gotta say.
Hey, going on? Hey, play that. Hey, play that. Going on?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm sorry. All right, my bad. I bow out. I bow out. I won't say nothing else. I understand. I'm so sorry. That's why she didn't have no opponent.
You better get kicked out of Fight Club.
Get it. There was no way anybody was going to win against that. Highly.
What's going on there? This is Chicago Precision Service about.
Hey, Katie with Kingdom Devoted Training, collaborating with Family at Arms. I got a conceal and carry class coming up October 8th and 9th.
Love you, Charles.
Conceal and carry class coming up 8th and 9th. If you shake the move about what's going on, you guys need to get yourselves in the conceal and carry class where instructors are not going to cut corners. Marquis is on you. P6 training.
Oh, bloody hell, it's on me?
Yeah.
I'm about to get ready to play Call of Duty. No, I'm about to take my ass to bed. I got to work tomorrow night. So Marquise Miranda with P6 Firearms Training. We do the concealed carry courses, advanced courses, knife courses, de-escalation courses, and now we are doing the requals for people who have the armed security training. We are now doing the requals. I leave teaching it to Mike because he has the patience and the time. I refuse. So yeah. But yes, so now we can do requals.
Yeah, and I can send some requals to you, man, for sure.
That works. You better make sure they want to do it with a holster.
That is true.
Because I'm not doing no requals without a holster.
That is very true. I will let them know that. John,
on you, bro.
Guardian Concepts.
Oh, okay.
Moonshine Productions.
Don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, like I said, I said it earlier, but our next thing coming up is use of force and self-defense seminar with Dave McDermott, September 27th, which is a Tuesday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. $20, which is a donation to a local veterans outreach group. So if you ever wanted a chance to talk to an actual attorney about all your what ifs, God knows. Oh, yep. Yeah, fuck Uncle Mike.
Boy, I can't stand Uncle Mike's. I remember when all of us had it on the PD and I had to rock my shit forward just so I can get it out when you had to turn it. It was a wrist breaker. I can't stand Uncle Mike's. Oh, my God.
And then concealed carry class is October 22nd, 23rd. Other than that, if you want, go to our website, guardian-concepts.com. Follow us on Facebook, Guardian Concepts LLC.
Outstanding. MikeBrownsClasses.com. Y'all know this stuff's been going across the tinker. All right. Until next time, look, get your butt into somebody's. We all see this going bad. I know I talked about some good times. We all talked about some good parts of the bill, and it was healthy debate. And as y'all can see, we didn't all agree. But we definitely, if there was a disagreement, we did so professionally and came to a healthy median. It is always better when professionals can do that. Okay. So I see this getting bad. And make sure that you're prepared. I see this getting bad. Keep your situational awareness up. Watch this video again, like, comment, share, all that great stuff. Until next time, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see y'all. Ow. What's going on there? This is Chicago Precision Service about what you
Don't you do it.
Friends here. Y'all,
because you have to understand that self-defense is a serious business. We do carry courses, advanced courses. Make a difference.
one of the tactics that would increase or decrease
In the two-way community.
All right, y'all introduce this thing. Johnny, I saw that, and I mean, I've done my share. I'm about to put yours up here too. Ooh, look at that. My comment is, I want. Hey, you'll be back. Hey.